Kevin Campbell was the man who did the damage in 1999. Ray Houghton used to wear red for 5 years and has played in seismic encounters between these two. Later, we've got Newcastle against Palace on Talksport 2, while the best goal service in the business with Adrian Durham is live right here on Talksport at 2:30 this afternoon. We've got championship action right now on Talksport 2. Download our app. You can flick between the two stations. But first, it's red against blue in a city where the rivalry is always true. It's the Merseyside derby, and it's live and free and only on Talksport. Before we start, all 22 players take the knee as the Premier League goes into No Room for Racism campaign week. We're off and underway with Everton shooting from left to right in blue shirts, white shorts and white socks, attacking the Kop end, and Liverpool all in red from head to toe, attacking the half-built Anfield Road end away to our left-hand side, the top tier of which is empty. It shouldn't be, but it is right now. I'll go through the 2-11s in just a second. I said it looks like a mismatch on paper, Ray Houghton. Do you think it will be?
No, I don't think so. Well, I love watching the warm-ups. It gives you...
McNeil into the centre, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin rises nice and early to get up above his marker and head the ball goalwards, and it's an early catch for Alisson.
Yeah, it certainly was. That came from, once again, Liverpool trying to play out from the back, didn't do it well enough, and that's what Calvert-Lewin offers you, that aerial ability. Got above end stuff already. We'll be playing a minute. Everton attacking it, wasn't it? Liverpool getting forward down that right-hand side, but Calvert-Lewin in the air is absolutely amazing. His timing of his leap was absolute perfection, and there he just couldn't direct his header to the side of Alisson, headed it straight down the middle, which made it easier for the Liverpool goalkeeper.
A lot of the country has been battered by storms, but it's still here on Merseyside, and it's a gentle breeze that has welcomed the two sides to Anfield. The sun is out, and Alisson has the ball away to our right-hand side. As Ray has been saying, 1 minute 30 seconds played, and we've already had a chance at either end. Salah's chance didn't come to anything because he ran out of room down that right-hand side, but there has been a wicket in the cricket at the Cricket World Cup. Is John Norman.
Yeah, the third one for Reece Topley. He's picked up David Miller, who slapped a ball straight to Stokes at mid-off. It means that South Africa will cruise in 2-3-3 for 3, has become 2-5-2 for 5.
Ball picked up by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who sends it wide towards the Liverpool left. Darting forward was the Colombian Luis Diaz, but Pickford's starting position was good, and he came out to the right edge of his perimeter of the penalty area and smacked it over halfway. Collected by Tsimikas, who's in for Robertson today. Back to Van Dijk. 4 changes for Liverpool. They've got Alisson in goal, a right back of Alexander-Arnold, who'll wander into midfield. Van Dijk, Konate and Tsimikas, Szoboszlai, McAllister and Gravenberch, Diaz, Jota and Salah, and Jota is running towards the edge of the penalty area, stopped by Doucouré. Everton turned the ball over and raced down the left-hand side, but it's been a fast start, Kevin Campbell.
It has been a fast start, and Everton's creating one chance for Dominic Calvert-Lewin already. I think that will give them a little bit of a lift, but what I didn't like is on the transition out to Salah with space, being able to run at the full-back. It's going to be a really interesting tie.
Well, Everton had a bit of an upturn before the international break, winning 3 of their last 4 matches after a dreadful start. They took just 1 point from their first 5 games. Here is McAllister, forward towards Gravenberch, back towards the edge of the area. Szoboszlai finds Salah, and he's miskicked it. He's miskicked it on the edge of the 6-yard box on the volley. He might have got away with it because of an offside flag anyway. That might just spare the blushes of the Egyptian international. But that was a one-touch, quick, fast-paced move by Liverpool, which opened up the Everton backline and should have resulted in at least a shot on goal.
Yeah, I'm so surprised with the miss kick there from Mo Salah, but you're quite right. That is world-class football. That's one touch at its finest, and you can't get near them. When you play at that standard, and the quickness and the movement, and everyone wants the ball, it's amazing to watch, but the defenders can't do anything about it. You just can't close it down. All that was missing there was the final strike over the right-hand side from Mo Salah, but he was offside. But that is Liverpool at their very, very best.
Indeed. 0-0 the score. You're listening to Talksport. We're live here at Anfield this afternoon. We've just seen Peter Crouch and Rio Ferdinand walk in front of us, Phil Jagielka as well, just taking their seats just in front of us in the high position in the main stand overlooking the halfway line here at Anfield. Gravenberch on the half turn inside the centre circle for Liverpool, plays it wide left. Progressing forward is the fullback Tsimikas, up to Diaz, back to the Greek once again in the left wing position now, gets it back to the Colombian who's just outside the area, tries to poke it forward to Gravenberch, and it's just a little bit too heavy, and it goes down the side of the penalty area and out for a goal kick away to our left hand side. So you're goalless on Talksport, goalless in the Championship, and we're live here this afternoon at Anfield ahead of what is a really busy day for us today, because not only have we got this match, but Newcastle Palace is on too, and later on tonight Sheffield United against Manchester United, and Monday night we've got live Tottenham against Fulham. Ali McCoist will be with us for that one, and Tuesday night, Wednesday night and Thursday night, top European action with all the big teams involved. We can't wait for that. This is Talksport. Ball out of play on this near side. Tsimikas to throw it in. Back towards Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk, who says he's not been the same since the injury that he suffered in a game between these two in 2020. He had just lost a yard of pace, I think, since those days. Has to anticipate a lot more. Can't rely on his Rolls-Royce ability to rev up the engine and just side up behind a threat that runs in behind. Here he is on the ball just short of the halfway line. Square he goes to Konate as another one of the changes. It's played forward towards the right hand side. Everton unchanged, by the way. Mikalenko has just dispossessed Salah over on the far side. The ball gets away from Amadou Onana and runs through to the Hungarian captain Szoboszlai. Back into midfield, McAllister. Lots of space for Tsimikas, wide left. A chance for him to cross. First time into the area. It goes through past two or three players. Punch from Pickford takes it away from Jota after he couldn't control, and it's cleared by Onana. Ray Houghton.
Yeah, wonderful play again from Liverpool. They're getting an overloader down the flanks. Tsimikas getting forward on that occasion. I thought Pickford could have done a little bit better rather than punch, and I thought he could have come and collected it and just diffused the situation. Decided to punch it, not convincing at all. Well, Liverpool having a lot of joys midfield. If I was Everton, I'd be worried with the amount of room that McAllister, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch is getting. They're just dominating that area of the pitch.
McNeil just dispossesses Szoboszlai, but Konate is across to shut down the danger just outside his box. They work it wide to the right, and Alexander-Arnold pings the ball forward, hopefully down into the wide left position for Diaz to chase. Ashley Young comes across, isn't going to fall for that. It goes out for a goal kick away to our left, 0-0.
Everton have been really wasteful in midfield, and against top players, when you're wasteful in midfield and the transition, they will hurt you. We just saw it was quite a good opportunity for Liverpool if they could get a good contact on the ball. Pickford looked a little bit shaky coming out. He should have just caught it, but look, Everton 0-0 right now. They need to settle down.
Rachel Daly has scored for Aston Villa in the WSL. They lead by a goal to nil. She had a brilliant season last season. She was the top scorer in the WSL, and she's off the mark again with a goal in that game against Tottenham Hotspur in the WSL. Here it's 0-0, 0-0 in the Championship at this moment in time. In fact, Preston have just taken the league, as I say that, by a goal to nil against Millwall. And 3 games off in Scotland. Ross County St Mirren has gone, so has St Johnstone Motherwell. Aberdeen Dundee has also gone, and there are a couple of games off further down the English pyramid as well in League 2. Mansfield against Forest Green has gone today. At 0-0 here, the ball is wide on the Everton right as they attack the Liverpool penalty area. Tsimikas is going to smack a bouncing ball into the air. It's met by Branthwaite, who was name-checked by Jurgen Klopp in his press conference yesterday, and the ball is sent wide towards the right, and Salah's taken it well. He tries to dive in round the back, but he overhit the pass forward to Diaz, and out comes Pickford and picks it up.
You know, that was a real opportunity there. Mo Salah's not started well at all. You know, he had that chance even though he was offside, but he just looks off his game at the moment. There, that was an easy ball to pick out Diaz. It wasn't a difficult ball with outside his left foot. There was so much room to play into, and just completely overhit it. Just needs to settle down a little bit at the moment, Salah.
Had a busy international break, didn't he? Didn't score on international duty against Zambia and Algeria, but he did do quite a bit of travelling. There was a bit of a hefty challenge from Luis Diaz there on the tall, muscular figure of James Tarkowski. Getting something here is a tall order for anyone, but it's always particularly difficult for the Toffees. Liverpool have just lost one of their last 45 Premier League home matches, and they have been pretty reliable here. One area where they haven't been so is set pieces. And Everton have one here, just on the halfway line. Pickford's going to take it. He's going to drop this in behind a very high line.
Everton are a big side, aren't they? And if ever you're going to exploit Liverpool, this is set pieces where I think they might get a little joy.
And Arna didn't get any joy there, and Szoboszlai has come racing away with the ball. Salah with a lovely little turn, and he's helped it on towards Szoboszlai, whose pass is behind Diaz. It wasn't great, but Diaz has kept it alive. Harrison trying to get back at him. Gravenberch sends it on to Jota. Good intelligent pass right side. It breaks to the left. It takes a deflection and goes out for a corner.
Oh, put on the counter-attack Liverpool there, aren't they? Look at the bodies that they got forward there. You know, defending their 18-yard box 1 minute, win it, and then you've Szoboszlai, you've got Gravenberch, you've got Salah, you've got Diaz, and all of a sudden Everton are on the back foot defending. Great play from Liverpool once again.
Still 0-0, but Liverpool have looked threatening on the counter-attack, even if it's Everton who've had the only shot on target. It's Tsimikas' cross in with the left foot towards the middle of the 6-yard box. It's headed away, but it wasn't the best clearance actually initially. It sort of bounced off Branthwaite and then was hooked away to halfway. Alisson, who sat on the bench for Brazil twice in midweek, plays the ball back from halfway to Alexander-Arnold, who pings the ball like a... Well, I mean, it was just laser guided, wasn't it, from the centre of the park out towards this near touchline, and it was collected and then cleared away. Out for a throw-in.
The referee didn't know which way to get the throw in there. He was like, I don't know, he just pointed to Liverpool.
The referee, by the way, is Craig Pawson today. VAR David Coote. Alexander-Arnold. Oh, this time his pass wasn't great. Mykolenko has nabbed it, and he has closed the ground down well, moving out to the right side. Alexander-Arnold from a midfield position and stopped Mykolenko from progressing. It goes out for a throwing in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand.
That's going to be an interesting matchup. Mo Salah versus Mykolenko. Mykolenko, I think he's settled down into this Everton side pretty well now, but we know what Mo Salah can do. You've got to keep your eye on Mo Salah at every stage.
McNeil getting away from first Konate and then not getting away from Van Dijk, who did just enough to get in front of him. I did worry actually that if there was a little bit more room for McNeil, he might have gone past Van Dijk, but he just stretched out at the last moment and prodded it behind and away for a corner kick.
The Rolls Royce is still working because he got there, didn't he? Van Dijk got there.
Yeah, he was poor from Konate though. It was a little back pass, he underhit it back to Alisson, but it was well read by Van Dijk, or otherwise McNeil would have been in there 1v1. But we said before the ball was kicked, where Everton might have a little joy is from set plays, and certainly from this corner kick.
Here is the corner in towards the near post this time. Alisson goes towards it, but it's away by Konate, who got there first. Harrison trying to keep the ball alive, and here come Liverpool. This is where they're dangerous. On the counter, at pace. Szoboszlai over halfway. He's got Diaz to his left and Salah through the centre. He plays it to Luis Diaz, who goes beyond the defender and did just enough to put him off.
Great tackle.
It was Ashley Young who slid in at the right moment, and just as he pulled the trigger, Luis Diaz, it bounced up into the air and went behind and away for a corner kick. It was brilliant defending.
Great tackle by Ashley Young. But, you know, if you're Sean Dyche, you are looking at an attacking corner, and then within seconds your fullback is producing a last-ditch tackle in your own box. Something is not right on the edge of the box.
4v2 there in Liverpool's favour. Szoboszlai picked out Luis Diaz, but Luis Diaz, if you look at it again, Sam, his first touch was pretty poor. He didn't anticipate the challenge coming in from Ashley Young, but great defending from Young.
Here is the corner, far side, the right, whipped in towards the penalty spot. Van Dijk was lurking. It's headed away by Onana. Gravenberch declined the invitation to shoot from 25 yards, and they've gone all the way back to the goalkeeper. I must say, I don't know what's happened in the international break, but I think they've put in some new super-powered speakers in this stadium, because that PA is deafening. I mean, we are miles away from those speakers as well, and you can almost feel the sound waves
going
cutting through you. I don't know what standby for an Anfield exercise is either, do you? Anyway, the ball is on this near side. Harrison trying to escape with it. It's fouled by Tsimikas. And Sean Dyche has spent a lot of the season telling us that Everton have deserved more points. If you look at the XG table, they create the 5th most chances in the league. The expected points table has them in 6th. It's that lack of quality at the end of the pitch robbing them of points and goals, but they're coming forward here with Doucouré trying to latch on to Dominic Calvert-Lewin's flick on. He can't get it back to the England man. and it's mopped up by Liverpool's defence, and Szoboszlai will bring it clear. We played 14 minutes, it's goalless, but it's been won by Young on this near side. Jack Harrison takes over in the right wing position, tries to skip past 2 challenges, moves towards the corner flag, eventually appeared to be crunched to the floor, and the assistant on this near side was not in the mood for giving him a foul, so it's a throw into Liverpool down by the corner flag.
That wasn't bad play by Everton there, winning the ball back. I think second balls are going to be so vital in this game. We've seen when Liverpool pick the second ball up, they cut through Everton pretty easy, but Everton have to do a little bit better attacking wise.
Well, I'll tell you what was the problem there for me, Kev, is no support quickly enough to Harrison. There's 3 Liverpool players around him, and I was looking, where's Garner, where's Ashley Young, and they're 20-30 yards away from him. When they play the ball down the line, you have to push up as a group, as a unit, and get in contact. You have to be close enough. If he gets into trouble, he's got a ball back to one of his teammates.
There's a little bit of a hefty collision on the sideline between Branthwaite and Luis Diaz, and Sean Dyche and Jurgen Klopp have had previous in sort of a bit of moaning from the Liverpool manager about the physicality that's been used with Burnley and then with Everton.
I don't see any problem with what we've just seen out there. Just two teams competing for the ball. You've got every right to go and try and win it. I think the Corey there was just a little tug of the shirt, which was spotted by the referee. They're just starting to grow into it a little bit more, Everton. It's whether they've got that belief that they can run and actually win the game. The Corey's getting higher. He's getting up a lot closer to Calvert-Lewin, who's won every header. Every time they put it in the air, Calvert-Lewin's winning the header, but you need people running off of him.
Well, Everton haven't scored against Liverpool since Damari Gray scored a consolation in December 2021. That's 348 minutes of football without having a derby goal to celebrate. Here is Harrison towards the edge of the penalty area, though, in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and finds the head of Konate instead of Calvert-Lewin. Konate had to be on his mettle there to get in front of the England striker, because that was a well-delivered ball by Jack Harrison from the right-hand side on his left foot.
Yeah, really good play by Everton. Quick ball down. Ashley Young passes it to Jack Harrison. Harrison goes down the line and cuts back on his left foot, puts a really good ball, well dealt with by Konate. I'd like to see Calvert-Lewin get across him if he can.
Preston 1, Millwall 0, live on Talksport 2 in the Championship. Corner in front of the Kop to be taken by McNeil. Left-footed, right under the goalkeeper. It's towards the back post, and he fumbled with it. He's dropped it inside the 6-yard box, and it's helped away by Van Dijk. Back in it goes from Ashley Young. Down the left, the flick on by Tarkowski. No offside flag. Cleared away by Szoboszlai. Taken in by Salah. Moved forward towards the left. Diaz with Szoboszlai joining on the far side. It's played in towards the Hungarian, or Salah.
Tackle.
And Szoboszlai were caught in 2 minds who was going to go for it. Onana wasn't caught in 2 minds. He knew he was going to go straight out there and intercept, and that's exactly what he did, Kevin.
I'll tell you what, without Onana making that tackle, there was 3 Liverpool players who would have been one-on-one with Jordan Pickford. Something's not right. They've got to sort that out at the back, because Liverpool breaks so quickly. But well done, Onana.
And that comes from an Everton attack. Liverpool break quickly, and then Liverpool getting so many men forward, and Everton aren't getting back defensively in numbers to see off the danger. Luckily or not, I mean, it's great play in the end, but it's fortuitous in some respect, because I think the Liverpool players were going, after you, Claude, do you want it? Yeah. Do I want it? No one was actually decisive enough to get onto the ball and go and get a 1v1 situation.
Well, there was an embarrassment of riches for Luis Diaz.
Yeah, it's just, it's doing the right thing. Yeah, the managers are going to be looking. At the moment, Sean Dyche is well outside of his technical area. I mean, furious with some of his teammates, or his players out there, should I say, because they're not getting in the positions that he wants them to.
Yellow card for Ashley Young. Sean Dyche was going absolutely balmy down in front of this. His challenge on Luis Diaz was late. It was nothing more than that. And it's the first yellow card of what is usually a spicy encounter. And remember, there have been 22 red cards in the Premier League era. That game that you played in, where you scored the goals here, there was 3 red cards. Sander Westerveld was one of them. Didn't someone have to go in goal? Steve Staunton had to go in goal.
Staunton, when he kept a clean sheet, he did.
Here is Salah down the right-hand side, getting into the right wing position. Mykolenko goes out to left back and then tries to help it on. And fighting for it over on the far side was Dominic Szoboszlai. Ricochets out of play and away for a Everton throw-in in the left full-back position.
If you're Sean Dyche, Sam, you've got to say to yourself, we've got to be a lot tighter at the back, because Liverpool are getting too much opportunities from Everton attacks. something's wrong.
Well, it's just maybe that they're overcommitting bodies, isn't it? You know, just a slight positioning tweak. If you just leave one extra body back on the halfway line, that can't happen.
I think because where the chances have come from Liverpool is from Everton set plays.
Yeah.
So then Liverpool have won the foot.
Yeah,
they're all up from the back. Liverpool won the header, and then the left short defensively. But credit to Liverpool to how they turn defence into attack and the pace that they do it.
Salah with a crossfield ball given to him by McAllister, tries to take on Mykolenko, who's got his number at this moment in time. And Salah actually, as Ray was saying, 20 minutes in, has had a very tricky start to the game. That doesn't mean he won't come up with a moment of magic. It's still 0-0. Harrison's gone down after a challenge by Tsimikas. The referee says that will be a free kick on this near side. And Liverpool fans aren't happy about it. There's been one or two stoppages in the last few minutes here. 0-0, live on Talksport with Newcastle Palace to come. Preston leading Millwall by a goal to 0 in the WSL. Aston Villa 1-0 up against Tottenham Hotspur. The atmosphere was brilliant before kick-off here. It should have been even louder, actually. The upper tier of the Anfield Road end should have been open today, but isn't. It's been delayed. Not HS2 delayed, more sort of Avanti West Coast delayed. He'll get there in the end, but you just don't know when. But it looks like it's going to be a rather impressive structure when it is eventually finished. The Everton fans in that stand watching on as they produce yet another free kick. This is from deep and towards the edge of the area. It's swung in towards Tarkowski. Goalkeeper's come and claimed brilliantly. Big, tall goalkeeper Alisson, but his hands reached into the air and grabbed the ball and bowled it out to Alexander-Arnold, and off they go again. Diaz right side, trying to get the better of Mykolenko, who's done well again to come away with the ball. Diaz has robbed it back, and now Liverpool have possession midway inside the Everton half. He moves up to sort of the midway point of the half of Gravenberch before giving it back to McAllister. Hesitates, plays it wide, in from the right, where it's collected by Alexander-Arnold and then Szoboszlai, and Liverpool have possession again. But another one of those breaks came very quickly after an Everton set piece.
It really did, and again, I think Liverpool could do a little bit better. I think with a final pass into one of the front men, we've seen what they can do when they do get it into the front men, shifting it quick.
Jota skipping past two challenges, and then the third brings it to the floor.
Good play.
It was Tarkowski with the nudge on the edge of the penalty area inside the D, and that will be a free kick to Liverpool.
That's the quality, isn't it? Liverpool have got Jota picked the ball up, very decisive in what he wanted to do since he starts running at the Everton back line, and Tarkowski knows he's beaten for pace, just sticks out his boot to bring down the Liverpool player. Slightly surprised he didn't get a yellow card for that, because he knew exactly what he was doing there, Tarkowski.
Absolutely.
But also, I mean, you're 21 yards out, Mo Salah, and obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold will be the two players that you'd be looking at, one with the left foot, one with the right foot, to I'll try and shift it. Okay, what would you think? Because the wall, it's a big wall, it's a tall wall, you're not going to go through it. Just shift it to one side or the other, and it may be easier to get a strike at goal.
I think Szoboszlai likes the look of it as well, if I'm honest, because he's involved with Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is worrying time for Everton.
Well, Liverpool have stolen a few yards back, if that makes any sense, because the offence actually took place right on the edge of the penalty area, about half a yard outside it. They've gone back to the edge of the D here, so they've created a little bit of distance to try and get the ball up and over the wall and back down again to trouble Pickford. Alexander-Arnold, Szoboszlai and Salah all involved. And it looks as if it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold who's going to step up right-footed here. The referee standing 10 yards behind the ball. There's a six-man blue wall. It's going to be Alexander-Arnold who hits it right into the middle of the wall after a touch from Salah set it back to him, as Ray suggested they might. But by the time you've done that, the wall get a chance to break.
Yeah, well done the ball, though, because they did what they had to do. They stood up nice and strong, got the body in the way of the strike. I suggested shifting it just to try to take the ball out a bit, but then as soon as the ball moves you have to react to it, and that's exactly what Everton did there, and they were nice and strong defensively. But worrying times, they're allowing Liverpool situations like this where the midfielders are getting on the ball then and just spraying balls in behind the back line of Everton.
Diaz on the left trying to juggle with Ashley Young who's wrestling with him, a little nibble at him as well, but Diaz kept hold of it. Szoboszlai spotted the run over on the far side of Alexander-Arnold, and McNeil just has to intervene to nudge it beyond the England man and out of play over on the far side and away for a corner. The score's Liverpool 0, Everton 0 on Talksport with Super 6. Predict 6 correct scores from this weekend, and you'll have the ability to win £250,000 without spending a penny. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Tsimikas gets it back to Virgil van Dijk. Now on to Konate. Everton warming up a couple of substitutes down in front of us. Still Sean Dyche stalks the technical area in front of the dugouts, just in a white crisp shirt, well starched, and with his black armband on his left arm today, appealing for every decision. Gravenberch gets back to his feet after initially thinking he'd been fouled, wins the ball, plays it left onto Jota. Jota moves towards the edge of the penalty area, attacking the goal away to our left. Everton trying to get back into some sort of shape to prevent them from finding a gap. That's one thing Everton are quite good at. When Liverpool have got the ball, Everton can get into their shape. Their biggest problems have come when it's Everton who are on the attack, and Liverpool have been very quick to pounce on the counter. 25 gone. Konate spawning the space of Salah, but going infield to Alexander-Arnold. There's a little bit of frustration from the Liverpool midfield. That ball wasn't moved a little bit quicker. McAllister whips it round the corner, finds Salah now, taking on Mykolenko, who times his intervention brilliantly again.
Yeah, well, listen, he shouldn't have been able to get the challenge in there, because it all came down to Mo Salah's touch. It was really poor. Not started as sharp as he has done in previous games for Liverpool. Just looks off the pace at the moment. I wonder if the manager has been assessing that in his technical area. But he's such a pivotal player who can score at any time.
Good touch by Calvert-Lewin to win the ball back, and then from inside his own half, Onana thought he'd spotted Alisson off his line.
He was,
but he just couldn't execute it at all well. He ended up hitting it as a daisy cutter.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he actually apologised to his teammates because he was nowhere near the goal. But he seen there, he had the ability there to see that Alisson was off his line.
Diaz down the left-hand side, trying to get in behind again. He goes on the outside of Ashley Young, then comes on the inside, makes room for the cross, right-footed into the edge of the 6-yard box. He's never going to get there, Jota, but Salah's won it back again, right side of the area, into the box, left-footed, tries to curl one towards the far corner. It's over the top of the crossbar.
That's what you can offer you, Mo Salah. I thought it was a foul. I've got to be honest with you, I thought it was just a coming together between McNeil, who looked like he was pushed over, when eventually come to Mo Salah on his left foot, tried to curl it into the far post. You can see the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, he knows he's beaten, but it's just too much height on the attempt, which took over the crossbar.
Very good effort though, very good effort by Salah. He wanted it, didn't he? He wanted it more than McNeil. Used his strength and got hold of it.
150th Liverpool appearance at Anfield, 103 goals so far. He's scored 5 in 9 Merseyside derbies, and he's been pretty close to doing so on that occasion. Gravenberch trying to get out towards this near side. He's going to run off the pitch, and it goes out for a throw-in on this near side. I think Liverpool probably had carried the more threat, but Everton will be pleased that it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I think Sean Dyche he'd be a bit worried, obviously, when Everton attack and Liverpool get through. But 0-0, Jordan Pickford hasn't had a save to make. I think he would take that if you asked him. You
would expect Liverpool to score here. They always score here, and you can understand why with the firepower. Salah, Diaz, Jota, Nunez on the bench. That's why they've only found a score in one match here in 2023. That was back in January. Doucouré trying to send it round the corner, looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's overhit and goes out of play.
Well, at the moment, Everton just can't control the ball for long enough periods to keep Liverpool at bay. Although Liverpool haven't created as many chances, they look threatening. You get the feeling, and Kevin will tell you, you're watching games, you've played in games, you get the feeling we're not too far away, that moment's going to come soon. And Everton have got to be much more disciplined all over the park. When they're like McNeil here, Szoboszlai goes wide when Alexander-Arnold comes into a more central position. He's just trying to hold his position, and they just look like they're struggling. If you see Liverpool always got looks like they've got an extra man. Why is that? Because it's 10v10 out there, and that's where Sean Dyche will be looking at. Why are they getting a lot of the ball, particularly in the midfield areas, under no real pressure at all?
29 gone, 0-0, and Liverpool on the attack again. Ball overhit by Virgil van Dijk. Sometimes it does take you a little bit longer to warm up after an international break, and an early kick-off on a day like this sometimes does just take a few extra minutes to get that engine warmed up properly.
Sammy, if you look at the way Liverpool's playing, Liverpool's smart. They're going to utilise that longer ball over the back of Everton's defence when Liverpool have it at the back. So what do Everton need to do? It's either you go and press the ball or you go a little bit deeper to negate that and let them have to play in front of you.
Doucouré trying to press Konate, but Konate manages to work his way round that. It's given away by McAllister, and Calvert-Lewin just couldn't take it in, and it was Virgil van Dijk who stepped in and got it away, but it quickly comes back on the halfway. Tarkowski thought he was going to be able to play on there and look for Doucouré, but Gravenberch has already been given a free kick just short of the halfway line. And I think there's consternation amongst the Everton support. And now
sure
Sean Dyche is turning round to the fourth official, who is Tom Bramall, saying, excuse me, any chance of a sort of explanation as to why that was the case?
Yeah, I think Garner went in for the challenge, didn't he, on Gravenberch, and referee looked like he was waiting to see if there was any advantage to Liverpool, and nothing came of it. He was a little bit slow in giving the decision, which I think infuriated both sets of supporters.
James Garner, who's Birkenhead born. It's his first taste of a Merseyside derby. He was at Manchester United as a youngster and he played a handful of games for them, went off to Nottingham Forest, did very well in the Championship for them, and transferred to Everton and is starting to find his place in the team now, James Garner.
Good player, good young player, got very good vision, very smart guy. But again, these are the games where you make your name.
Ashley Young, right side. Oh dear, miscontrolled it. And it goes straight out of play on this near side and away for a Liverpool throw. Second oldest player to have appeared in the Premier League this season. And he just looked a little bit out of sorts there as he tried to control it. Age catches up with us all, you know. Here is Alexander Arnold out towards the left-hand side. Played in towards Gravenberch. And then across comes Tarkowski and nudges him off the ball, and Tarkowski's definitely getting a yellow because actually he deserved it for the free kick on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, that was the second challenge, poor challenge that he gave away. I mean, he was committed to go and try and win it, but he was nowhere near. It was a lovely turn from Gravenberch to get away from him, and it was he stopped a Liverpool attack where they had numbers in the advanced position.
And that is the definition of a yellow card. So he's in the book. And there's got to be a little bit careful now. That side of the pitch in particular, because Young and Tarkowski together have both been entered into the referee's notebook, Kevin.
Yeah, it's a worry. Everton just seem to be getting there just a yard off, and Liverpool seem to be a little bit sharper. But here's a break.
Here's a break. The ball away, and Calvert-Lewin is leading the attack. He's moved it out wide towards the left. In fact, he's kept hold of it for too long there. It looks as if he's passed it into McNeil. It wasn't crisp enough, and he ended up with the ball at his feet for a second time, then ran down a cul-de-sac, and Liverpool looked to try and expose him on the counter. They've done well here with Mykolenko and with Garner, although Mykolenko's picked up a head injury as he tried to scupper Liverpool coming forward.
Yeah, I think it was Jota that ran into him. I'm not sure there was too much on it.
In the last few minutes, Ray, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's been a few
out of the game.
Yeah, a few challenges. Well, listen, this will help Everton more than Liverpool. Liverpool want to keep the pace of the game up. Everton will try to slow things down. Sean Dyche will try to get some pointers out to his players in positions that they want them to take up. But Jota done really well initially. Played a little ball. I'm not sure there's a great deal in it. I think he just
I wonder whether or not he's actually pulled something.
Yeah, because it didn't look there was much in the challenge from Jota.
Well, he's got back to his feet again, Mykolenko, but it looks as if his calf popped at that moment.
Yes, he felt something, didn't he?
You would know if you'd done your calf or your hamstring. You wouldn't be running around.
Or his ankle. I think
something happened though. Yeah. He's hobbling over on that far side.
If it was a calf, he'd be off. Yeah. That's for sure. So maybe it was just a tweak in his ankle, and we see how he goes.
Well, you don't want to have any sort of ailment when you're up against Mo Salah. He seems to be moving okay at this moment in time. Salah's got the ball, away by Mykolenko, comes back towards McAllister, who shoots, spilt by Pickford. And the shot was from 35 yards from McAllister. It would have to be something impressive, and it's spilt by Pickford and cleared away. The ball cleared up over on the halfway line. And it's out towards this near side, the left, and then Harrison looks for Doucouré, who's going down the right. He tries to weave in between two players, and then he's got some space for McNeil. But again, they just don't hand the ball off quick enough, Everton. Runs into traffic, loses the ball, and now Liverpool come up the other end. That was a good opportunity for Everton. They didn't make the most of it.
Got to use it quicker. Got to use it quicker. You're in a good position, edge of the box. Give it to Calvert-Lewin and get around him.
Mikalenko, he's headed the ball back to his goalkeeper, and his goalkeeper wasn't expecting it, and he almost sent it wide to his right and into his own net, but Pickford adjusted his position.
Yeah, well, that's well done, Mikalenko. He got a good covering position in the left full-back position there, and then it was a confident header back to Pickford. It looked from our position that Pickford had gone a little bit too far out of his goal, but obviously from that, the angle he was at, he was absolutely perfect.
Van Dijk getting shut down by Harrison, almost giving the ball away. It's been a bit scrappy in the last 10 minutes or so. We've got 10 minutes before half-time. Jurgen Klopp standing on the edge of the technical area, arms behind his back. He's looking at its rebuilt midfield, where Szoboszlai has shone. Here's Jota trying to get him ahead of Tarkowski, who's going to get there first and nudge it back to Pickford, and just wouldn't bounce for him.
Kev, why is it every time Liverpool play the ball over the back line of Everton, it looks like there's problems for them?
Because Liverpool, one, it's a good ball over the top, and two, Liverpool have the pace to really ask questions on Everton's back four.
Here is Jota back out wide towards the left, and it's on to Tsimikas, back into Jota again, edge of the penalty area, plays it in towards Diaz, but cut out by Branthwaite. Well won by McAllister, kept hold of by Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold trying to keep hold of it despite the presence of McNeil, who's driven him to halfway. It's back to Alisson, they've kept possession of the ball. Goalless on Talksport. Later on, Newcastle Palace is on 2, and we're round the grounds with Adrian Durham. Sheffield United against Manchester United follows on from the full-time phone-in tonight at 5:30 with Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbonlahor. The Sunday session tomorrow brings you all the goals as they go in from the Premier League, the Championship, and from the WSL and Scotland too. We'll keep you in touch with everything tomorrow. Monday night football comes from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've got the Fulham game, and then on Tuesday night we've got Champions League action for you from Andalusia. Sevilla take on Arsenal. Here is McAllister deep inside his own half. Liverpool trying to come up with a spark. They've only had 1 or 2 half chances so far in the game. Nothing that Pickford's had to really stop. Out on the left, it's with Luis Diaz, who goes on the outside of Ashley Young, then tries to come back again. Keeps going. Young's brought him down, and Young's already been booked.
He might be off here. He might be off here. He's on a yellow card. He's completely mistimed it. He's got the play. He's not got anything on the ball. Big call for the referee.
Well, the referee really would be giving a yellow card in these circumstances. He is going to give a yellow card in this circumstance. And for the 23rd time in the Premier League era, a player is sent off in the Merseyside derby. It's the oldest and most experienced head of them all. At the age of 38 years and 90 days, Ashley Young dismissed for 2 bookable offences inside the first half.
I think the referee has put himself in such a difficult position, especially with the first booking, because the first booking I didn't think was a booking, if I'm honest with you.
I agree.
So once he's booked, you've mentioned it on the right hand side, the right hand side's going to be in problems, and Ashley Young, Diaz is going to go at him, and unfortunately he mistimes his second tackle.
Kev, if you're on a yellow card, you can't afford to go for challenges like that. You've just got to stick with Diaz as best you can. Stand up, force him down the line, but you can't go in and make the challenge like that, because you leave yourself open to the referee making a decision on you. I don't think you had any other choice there but to show him the second yellow, which I read, and he had to go off. Now, if it was difficult for Everton with 11, even more difficult with 10.
10 players for Everton against 11 of Liverpool, who want to go back to the top of the Premier League. A 2-goal victory will allow them to do that. They have a free kick. Szoboszlai to take it. It's heavy. It's floated towards Trent Alexander-Arnold, who keeps it alive and takes it down to the byline. Sends it into the centre. It's spooned behind by Mikalenko. It's out for a corner. And they were stretching there, Liverpool, to keep that in play, and Alexander-Arnold made the best of it.
He did. And, you know, I look at this Everton side, and could this ever be the best thing to happen to them? Because now, Ray, they don't have to come out. They can just sit in there nice and tight.
Here's the
but
corner.
What they've got to do, not concede.
Towards Van Dijk, he heads the ball against the defender. It goes out and away for another corner kick. It spoons over the top of the crossbar.
Just listen to the noise in the stadium now. The real belief from the Liverpool supporters that they're going to win this game. They just have to keep their patience. You know, they work the ball from one side of the pitch to the other, keep control in the midfield area, and I'm sure there'll be opportunities for them.
Got to get to half-time.
Tsimikas to take it. We've got 7 minutes before then. Tsimikas, the Greek, spins the ball towards the penalty spot. It's away by Onana, comes back towards Alexander-Arnold, who hits it from 25 yards out on the volley, and it went shooting towards Pickford's goal, flying through the air. And Pickford was grateful to see it go just narrowly over the top of the crossbar.
Brilliant technique, isn't it? I'm not sure, did Calvert-Lewin that little touch on the way through there? Hard to see from there. He got his body on the line of the strike anyway from Alexander-Arnold, but the technique's brilliant. The power he got on it was absolutely incredible. It was straight down the middle, and even if it was on target, you still expect Pickford to make the save.
Great technique from Trent Alexander-Arnold. We were talking in the week actually on the White and Jordan show with Danny Murphy about England's midfield makeup, and it was a suggestion from Martin Keown, who actually sort of texted me and said, you know, what about Trent Alexander-Arnold going in there alongside Declan Rice? That might well be something that Gareth looks at in the future on a more regular basis. Here's Doucouré sending the ball infield towards McNeil. He turns and spins and tries to get it away. He shoots from distance, and it's only just over the top. But it's over the top, I think, because Alisson got a little fingertip save on it. It was, 25 yards from goal when he took it into his body, turned very quickly, swiveled and then hit the ball left-footed towards goal, and it went just narrowly over the top. It's a corner to Everton.
Yeah, it took an early deflection, but that was Doucouré using the ball a lot quicker, wasn't it? Getting the ball down, passing it into McNeil, and McNeil, good turn, good shot, deflection. Another opportunity for Everton right now.
Decision making, isn't it? When you pass the ball quick, it's all about your decisions. You know, holding on to the ball too long.
McNeil's delivery is deep towards the far post, plucked out of the sky by a confident Alisson, whose distribution was hampered by Doucouré, but Liverpool have been allowed to continue because they're moving fast through the middle of the pitch, and it's played forward by Tsimikas. It was a poor ball by him, cut out by Tarkowski and cleared away by Everton. Doucouré has it, charged down by McAllister, not once but twice. The ball ricochets to Salah, Alexander-Arnold to Jota, back out to Salah, far side, the Liverpool right, into the area now, onto Szoboszlai, who pokes it forward, it hits James Tarkowski in the midriff. The referee has allowed play on. Szoboszlai's got it again. He's poked it wide towards the right, into the 6-yard box. No one's there to finish it.
What a ball that is. That's got goal written all over it. I don't think you can ask any more from Alexander-Arnold. He's put it into the perfect area, right across the 6-yard box. You had Salah in there, you had Jota in there, Gravenberch coming in the back post, Diaz, and not one of them could actually get a touch on it. That should have been 1-0.
Well defended by Everton and the 10 men. Liverpool asking a lot of questions, but they're hanging in there.
James Tarkowski took one in the crown jewels and has slowly but surely got to his feet. It took him out of that passage of play, actually. Scores Liverpool 0, Everton 0 on Talksport with Now. And don't forget, with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Chelsea, Arsenal tonight, and Sheffield United, Man United tonight. Live $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. It's Liverpool 0, Everton 0 in the Merseyside derby. It's 1-1 now in the Championship. Millwall have equalised, and that's over on Talksport 2. And later on we've got Newcastle Palace and Sheffield United, Manchester United to come from the Premier League, only here on Talksport. What a super Saturday it is. Here is Diaz down the right side looking to Salah. Oh, it's a poor ball. Cut out by Mykolenko on the edge and left edge of the area. Funnels it forward. No one really to latch onto it. Just imagine how tiring it's going to be for Everton to go as long as they're going to have to, playing with 10 players after the sending off of Ashley Young for 2 bookable offences. Here's Gravenberch in the left corridor, plays it out towards the near side, and Tsimikas, his ball headed down by Diaz, kept alive by Jota, who sensibly wins the corner off Garner. And it's another set piece for this Liverpool attack.
They're so close at the moment, Liverpool. The only thing missing, maybe the final ball, hasn't been quite there, not made the right decision in the final third, but they're looking more dangerous, and it looks to me it's just a matter of time before they get the opening goal in this game.
Tsimikas to take the corner kick from this near side. There's a clutch of 6 Liverpool red shirts in the penalty area, 3 lurking on the edge. Simicast's ball is aimed towards Diaz. It takes a flick off him, and then, well, it's controlled by Onana and cleared away. There's an accusation of handball. We'll go back to that in just a second. As Szoboszlai and Simicast combine down the left, and Simicast is steaming into the area. His left-footed ball into the box, misses Jota, and he's headed away by Onana, and it's out for another corner. Kevin Campbell.
Liverpool are utilising the spare man. That was a 2v1, well played. Simicast gets a ball in, and Everton are dealing with these crosses in the box well. They have to keep it going, get to half-time.
Alexander-Arnold from distance cracks one down the middle of the pitch. It bounces off Mykolenko and goes out for a throw-in.
Everton have to get to half-time and just regroup. I think that's really important for them right now.
1 minute to go before we've played 45. Live on Talksport with Kevin Campbell and Ray Houghton live at Anfield. The ball is with Gravenberch for Liverpool, who have a man advantage, but it's still level on the scoreboard. And here comes Szoboszlai trying one from distance. He tried to dig that out, and he was never going to really test the goalkeeper from that sort
Once
of
again,
range.
Sam, it's just that final delivery and just decision making. That was never on to do that. He had options to his right hand side. Just got to keep your patience, keep working the ball and waiting for the openings. When you do that, you'll get more chances. Everton, to their credit though, they're throwing bodies in the way of the strikes that are coming in. They're doing that extremely well. Mykolenko's done that on 3 or 4 occasions, same with Tarkowski and Branthwaite. That's been very, very good. I feel sorry for the lad Garner. He's a winger stroke midfielder, and he's actually filling that right back position at the moment.
Well, I think, if I'm right in saying, he has played there before, actually.
Yes,
James
he has.
Garner. Here is Onana. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. You just wonder whether or not Liverpool would have been ahead if they were playing a centre forward in the mould of Nunez or Kevin Campbell. Or maybe Ali McCoist, who's back on breakfast with Andy Townsend this Monday from 6 o'clock. They're going to be joined by the England and Brighton central defender Lewis Dunk from 6 o'clock on Monday morning. Give it a listen when you wake up. 2 minutes of added time. Garner forward, down the right side of the Everton attack. Doucouré trying to get beyond Van Dijk. It's whacked away by Simicast, and then it drops for Branthwaite, who finds Onana, and then it's back to Pickford away to our left.
Everton, it's crazy to even say this, Sam, but Everton have played a lot better since they've been down to 10 men.
Calvert-Lewin getting in behind, chesting the ball down away from Van Dijk, but couldn't get control of the ball. And Alisson just gobbled it up and bowled it out. That was a little bit nervy for Liverpool. They're travelling with the ball well, but not rushing it. And there's a little bit of frustration as Szoboszlai wants more movement, gets his right foot behind the ball and shoots from 20 yards, maybe further than that. 25, and it moved and dipped in the air, but again it was narrowly off target. Ray Houghton.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he's hit it plenty of power, but just got underneath it, which took it over the crossbar. I'd rather you hit the target, because we've seen one earlier which was spilt by Pickford. You know, the ball was straight at him and he spilt it, and he was quick enough to get up and get the ball at the second attempt. But if you hit it over the bar, you're never going to score. Hit the target, ask questions of the goalkeeper.
I think if Everton lets Szoboszlai shoot like that, they're going to come unstuck, because he will find a top corner or bottom corner at one stage.
Liverpool have given goals away too often, but they haven't given away too many chances in this game. Scoring them has been something that's happened regularly for fun, but they haven't tested Pickford anywhere near enough in the opening 45 minutes. And Everton are down to 10 men and will dig in now and sit behind the ball, you would expect. Here's Jota trying to open them up. He weaves his way past 3 players, goes down inside the penalty area. The referee's glanced at by all, but he says play on, no penalty.
And the other thing with that, it was Tarkowski that made the challenge on him, and he's on a yellow card as well.
Ball on the right-hand side, in towards the near post, away by Branthwaite, and then, well, there's a few boos from the from the Everton fans at half-time for the referee, who blows the half-time whistle. A whistle that has gone with the scoreline still level pegging. Everton don't beat Liverpool very often, but they do cause them issues every now and again, and they haven't allowed them too many shots on goal. Jota and Doucouré and Craig Pawson are having a lengthy debate at half-time. Everton down to 10 men after the sending off of Ashley Young for 2 bookable offences. There haven't been too many highlights in front of goal, but certainly it's been a well-contested first 45 minutes. Liverpool 0, Everton 0.
Thank you, Sam Matthews. Yes, certainly very, very well contested indeed. A really entertaining watch for so many other reasons. Kevin Campbell and Ray Houghton, of course, alongside me. Kevin Campbell, every single Everton fan would have had their hearts in their mouths when Ashley Young went off. The most experienced head on that pitch, 39 years old, second bookable offence. But interestingly, as you say, they went down to 10 men, but they've not lost their warrior spirit.
No, they haven't lost the warrior spirit. I think the referee left himself in such a difficult position, booking Ashley Young so early. I thought Diaz bought it a little bit, and he's brandished the yellow card. But Ashley Young, he's experienced, he knows what to do, he knows he's got to stay on his feet. He went in for the tackle, he was nowhere near the ball, left the referee with no choice but to send him off. But Everton, now they don't have to come out and express themselves too much. They can sit in and make life a little bit more difficult. I think Everton have been better with 10 men, which is crazy. But we have seen 10 men cause teams problems in the past, and Everton are doing that now.
Yeah, they are doing that. Ashley Young, incidentally, has been received a yellow card in 3 of his last 4 games for Everton, against Bournemouth, Brentford and Arsenal as well. So they have been causing problems, Ray Houghton. How are Liverpool going to deal with that?
Yeah, can I just quickly just comment on the Ashley Young yellow card? In games like this, referees sometimes want to put down a marker quite early on that they're in charge, and they give a yellow card and say, right lads, settle down. Unfortunately for Ashley, an experienced player that he is, once you're on the yellow card, you can't make the second challenge. And his experience should have told
rush, wasn't it?
It was, and maybe he was a little bit too eager to try and win the ball, and he was committed to the challenge, and he was a little bit late. Diaz was a little bit too quick for him, but you can clearly see that he never got anywhere near the ball, caught the player, and the referee had no other option, in my opinion, to show the second yellow, which is a red, and off he went. As for Liverpool, do you know what? The only thing missing from their game is a goal. I think the general play has been excellent. I think the transition from defence to attack is absolutely outstanding. It's the final ball, and that comes down to decision making. Players are picking out the wrong pass, or they're playing it to the wrong player, or taking a shot when they should be crossing it. And there's been other options where Alexander-Arnold put a ball across the 6-yard box. You're not going to get better than that. You need players fighting to get in front of their marker, to get across the defender to get that shot on target, not watching it and then going, oh, I should have been in there. That's reactionary. You want actionary players. You want people acting on it, seeing it, moving into positions where they should be. They didn't do that. I'm expecting Liverpool in the second half to dominate possession, but ultimately to create more chances, score goals. What Everton have got, as Kev said, they'll sit deep. They've got Calvert-Lewin, and his pace could prove a problem if Liverpool overcommit players forward. I still expect Liverpool to go on in the second half and win it comfortably, though.
They're on possession-wise 73% for Liverpool, so they are dominating it in that way. But it has to be said, Kevin, that Everton have defended really valiantly in this one. That no one is scared to make a tackle, maybe a bit rash, as we saw with Ashley Young, and he probably shouldn't have gone in so rash, which saw him eventually get that second yellow and get sent off. But they've been very, very good at defending. They are going in for it. They
are. They're committed to the cause. They know Liverpool, talent-wise, Liverpool probably got more than they have. But the only equaliser Everton would have is by putting their bodies on the line and committing to keeping that ball out of the net. We've seen them last-ditch tackles. Ashley Young made an absolute fantastic tackle earlier on in the first half. Unfortunately,
Onana as well.
Onana made an incredible tackle as well. But what they've got to do is they've got to stop those last-ditch tackles, because if they're going into last-ditch tackles, Liverpool will spring free at some stage. So well played by for Everton to commit, but they have to be a lot more solid.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, elsewhere in the Championship, it's Preston North End 1, Millwall 1, and the WSL, Aston Villa 1, Tottenham 1. Rachel Daly on the score sheet for Villa again, but Tottenham have been able to equalise. So looking for a good point for them, of course. That one's at half-time. In the cricket, South Africa are 358 for 5 with 2.4 overs remaining against England in the Cricket World Cup. Here at Anfield, though, it is currently goalless, but it's been entertaining and incident-filled as well. Looking forward to the second half. That's up next.
Game day exclusive on Talksport with Now. Stream all the Sky Sports action like Chelsea versus Arsenal live today for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
The football season is well and truly underway with Betfair. And if you're looking to get involved in all the action, then look no further. At Betfair, we've made it faster and easier to build your ACCA this football season. Celebrate this weekend with a completely free ACCA or Bet Builder on football. Betfair.
Opt-in and previous deposit required. Max free bet varies from £1 to £10 per customer. Minimum odds of 1.5 on minimum one leg. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
You'll only remember that sound if you're from the 90s, a time when the World Wide Web was still taking off. Dial-up was the thing, and McDonald's started cracking only free-range eggs, fresh every day, to use in all our McMuffins. It's just one of the little changes McDonald's have been constantly making to the way we source our food over the years. McDonald's. Change a little, change a lot.
Y'all ready for something new? Just eat. Oh, you thought it was just burgers and fries. They got more flavors than you tasted or you heard in your life. Yummy. And it ain't only restaurants anymore. We can go bananas at the grocery store. I'm a bad girl, but my takeout better. What you need, dude? I could cop a taco platter. And my sushi train is on loop. When you this slick, what you gon' do? Did somebody say just eat?
Running low on raw plugs? Going through cutting discs on the double? With Screwfix Trade Bulk Save, you can get up to 10% off the stuff you use the most. Buy more and save more on thousands of products. From everyday essentials like sealants to switches and sockets. And with Click and Collect, you can get what you need in as little as 1 minute. Shop now on the app at screwfix.com or in store. Screwfix, the choice of champions. T's and C's apply. Visit screwfix.com for full details.
Rodri to De Bruyne, flicked onto Walker. Goal! No one saw that coming.
Or as we say in Japan, no warutaka wa tsume o kakusu. The smart hawk hides its talents. For a taste beyond expected, Asahi Super Dry, official beer partners of Manchester City. Enjoy responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk.
Feel the passion and the pride of the Premier League.
Oh, it's a stunning goal!
Game day exclusive
on Talksport. Hello there, it's half-time in the Merseyside derby, goalless between those two sides here at Anfield in the October sunshine. It really is a beautiful Saturday morning. I don't think anyone expected that at this time of year, but it is goalless. Everton, of course, down to 10 men as well. Ashley Young sent off for 2 yellow cards. Okay, just another update for you from the WSL, though. As we broke, we said it was 1-1. Actually, Tottenham have got their noses in front because in the 5th minute of added time, Ashley Neville, Tottenham's stalwart in the WSL, was able to put them in front. So it's currently Aston Villa 1, Tottenham 2. This is Game Day exclusive on Talksport, I should say, and we're going to continue to look ahead this weekend to the Premier League action with Super 6.
The Talksport Match Predictor with Super 6. Play for free. Predict 6 correct scores for the chance to win £250,000. Get your entries in by 3 p.m. today with Super 6. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Each week we'll be discussing games that are featured within Super 6. For those of you that aren't familiar with Super 6, it is a free-to-play football game where you can win huge jackpots through your own knowledge. Simply predict 6 correct scores to win the jackpot. This week it's £250,000. And even if you don't manage to get 6 correct scores, there are more ways to win with a guaranteed 5k up for grabs every single round if you get the most points, and plenty more. Ray Houghton, who is alongside me here, is going to run through the final 3 games on the list. We're going to start with our exclusive TalkSport 2 commentary match, Newcastle United against Crystal Palace. Ray.
Yeah, well, I watched Palace the other week against Nottingham Forest. They really struggled to create any chances or score goals, and I think this season that's been a real concern for them. Scored 7, conceded 7, so they don't give away too much, but they don't score enough goals either. Newcastle just going to go from strength to strength. There's been a change in personnel, 1 or 2 players out, some coming back from injury. There's problems maybe off the field, but I don't think that's going to be a problem today. I think they'll win this game by 2-0, but it'll be a tight affair because Palace are a good solid side. Roy gets his teams into a good shape that's really hard to break down, but I think Newcastle got the players to do it.
Okay, well, over 400,000 entrants agree with you, Ray. They're opting for a 2-0 win for Eddie Howe's side. Meanwhile, Manchester City host Brighton. What's your Super 6 prediction for that?
Do you know what? I love watching Brighton. They're one of my favourite teams. I think the coach there has done an incredible job. But City have lost the last 2 league games. Lost to Wolves and then lost to Arsenal. I don't see them losing 3. I think they'll be back to winning ways today. And I'm actually going to go City to win this by 3 goals to 1. Because I think Brighton, if you can get after them, they're not the quickest at the back, and I think there's little gaps that you can play through, and particularly with the strikers and the attacking players that City have got, I think City will win this 3-1.
Yeah, if there's anyone who's going to get through the gaps, it's going to be Manchester City, isn't it? Over 250,000 players are predicting a 3-1 win for Manchester City. So let's look at our last Super 6 game, Brentford against Burnley.
Yeah, I think both of them are struggling, aren't they? When I think you look at how many games that they've won this season, neither one of them have been actually convincing. If you look at Brentford, the last 5 games, 2 draws and 3 defeats, it hasn't been good at all. Obviously, Ivan Toney being out of the equation has really affected them. I don't think anyone would question that. Burnley, I really fear from this season. I think they play nice enough football. I don't think they're going to score enough goals, and ultimately they're losing too many games. Lost to Chelsea at home by 4 games to 1. I think Brentford will probably win this, by the odd goal, but I don't really see a great deal between the 2 teams. I'll probably go 2-1 to Brentford.
Okay, well, over 250,000 players are also predicting that 2-1 scoreline, Ray. That's also in favour of Brentford. That is all thanks to Super 6. And don't forget, Super 6 has set up its very own Talksport League. Sign up on the Super 6 website or app using the code TALKS6. That's TALKS6. Where you can also win £100 for topping the league every single round. And remember, get those predictions in by 3 p.m. today. 18+ terms and conditions apply.
The Talksport Match Predictor with Super 6. Play for free. Predict 6 correct scores for the chance to win £250,000. Get your entries in by 3 p.m. today with Super 6. 18+ terms and conditions apply.
Okay, Adrian Durham will be here following this game, the Merseyside derby. He'll be stationed at the Vitality Stadium for Bournemouth against Wolves. Adrian, is it the Gary O'Neill derby? Is it too early to call it that?
No, it's an interesting return for Gary O'Neill. And interestingly enough, in the programme, it says Gary O'Neill is now with Wolves, getting results with his new team. But they're not getting here at Bournemouth. So he's going to stroll in here, just like the fans will be all filling
Billy
the seats.
Big man.
He'll stick his arms out wide and say, "Oh, see, you haven't won yet this season, right? Okay." Yeah. See what happens when you lose me?
He's got every right to do that. Because this revolution under Andoni Iraola, has not happened yet. He was brought here because of his brand of football, because of, this front foot play that you thought you would see from this Bournemouth side. We thought we'd see results by now, Adrian. It's a dire time for them. They're, just one off the bottom of the table.
Yeah, they've got this home game. Then next weekend they're at home to Burnley as well. So if they don't win any of those, they've got a Man City after that. And the next one they've got, so between now and the end of the November, they've got these 2 home games and away at Sheffield United. If they don't pick up a win in any of those 3 games, there's going to be some serious questions. They have to be in the mix. I mean, I just heard Ray talking about Burnley there. You do fear for Burnley. Yeah. I think they're an infinitely better side than Bournemouth. Vincent Kompany's been with them a year. They should be better than Bournemouth, because Andoni Iraola's trying to get something going here. But I fear for Bournemouth as well. Big game, this one. They have to... I mean, Gary O'Neill can't be allowed to come back here and lord it over the manager who's taken over from him. So just started chucking it down with rain here, so no sunshine here. But a big day of football. Premier League is back. And by the way, whose idea was it to put a 38-year-old up against Luis Diaz? Unbelievable.
39, apparently.
Patterson's on the bench. I mean, what's going on?
What is going on here? We'll see what happens in due course. Absolutely. Adrian Durham, always great to talk to you. The players are out here on the pitch at Anfield ahead of this second half. It's currently goalless, of course, between the 2 sides. But, as Adrian mentioned, Ashley Young sent off in that first half, so Everton are down to 10 men. As if the Merseyside derby couldn't get any spicier. Let's hand you back to our commentary team. Ray Houghton is alongside Sam Matterface, as is Kevin Campbell. Sam, do go first.
Either Rain's got smaller or he's not here, because he's he's disappeared. I don't know where he's gone. He's here somewhere, but Kevin's here, which is good, and the Everton players have just come out for the second half as well. We'll just have a little glance down to see whether or not they are going to make any changes. And it does look as if they're going to bring on Patterson and
Keane, I think.
Michael Keane as well. What do you make of those two changes? It's who's coming off here? We can't see because of the sunshine, sadly. I think it might be Jack Harrison who's gone off, and the other one is McNeil. So the outlets that they have come off, and they've stiffened the defence. What do you make?
Yeah, I think it's a decent move. Freshen things up a little bit. Put some bodies on there that's got fresh legs and fresh minds, Sam. So that's what they're going to need. They're going to need people who can track runners and people who can actually make a difference in the opposition box if they ever get that opportunity as well. So a good move by Sean Dyche.
Well, you heard from Adrian Durham at half-time, and he was surprised that Ashley Young was in the team in the first place because of his age against someone of the sprightliness of Luis Diaz. We'll see how Nathan Patterson gets on against him. They've gone to a flat back five, it looks like, at the start of the second half, with three in midfield and Calvert-Lewin up top. So Pickford in goal, a back five of Patterson, Keane, Tarkovsky, Branthwaite, Mikolenko, Garner, Doucouré and Onana supporting Calvert-Lewin in attack. We'll go to the Liverpool team who are attacking the Kop end in red shirts, red shorts and red socks in just a moment. We've played 30 seconds of the second half. Alexander-Arnold sprays the ball from one side of the pitch to the other. Tsimikas on to Diaz. Diaz in towards Gravenberch, who gets there despite the fact that Doucouré stumbled slightly, and it spills into the right full-back position and then is cleared. I'm delighted to say Ray Houghton is with us as well. Ray, is there any suggestion that maybe Ashley Young was harshly dealt with? First yellow card may have been dubious, but I suppose once you have received that yellow card, you have to be ultra cautious.
Yeah, I'll go back to what I said to Reshman at half-time. I think referees in games like this want to put down a marker quite early to show that he's in charge. So the first challenge that really was one for him to make a decision on, when Ashley Young came in and made the challenge on Diaz, and he mistimed it to give away the free kick. He got the yellow card for that, but after that, with his experience, Sam, he shouldn't be making the second one. I mean, you just got to slow the player down the line, make sure you stay in contact with him, but you don't have to make the challenge, and ultimately paid the price for it being sent off. And now all of a sudden you look at the tactics now in the formation of Everton. They're going to your back five, you've got three in midfield and one up front. To me, this is just, they're not going to try and win the game. They're just trying to keep it, hit the scoreline at 0-0 for as long as they can.
It's the 243rd League Merseyside derby. Recent visits have yielded very little for Everton. Richarlison and Sigurdsson scored on their only win in 26 trips across Stanley Park. Largely that walk across the park, the 12-minute stroll, has been a waste of time since Kevin Campbell starred in 1999. Can they hang on for a point here? That would be a big result for them. They are defending at the moment as Liverpool come forward. We're off to the cricket and John Norman in just a second. What's the latest, John?
Mumbai Mullering, Sam. When you were last with me at the start of the first half, David Miller's wicket saw South Africa in the 37th over 2-4-3 for 5, and then the carnage ensued. 150-run partnership for the 7th wicket in a blink of an eye. It means that England, to realistically stay in the competition, are going to have to score 400.
Okay, good luck with that. I was watching yesterday, I think it was Pakistan who were chasing Australia, trying to score about 385 to win that game. They didn't get nowhere near it. I doubt England are going to get anywhere near that today. Here's Konate, dead centre of the Everton half, worked out wide for Salah into Szoboszlai. That all-new Liverpool midfielder is experiencing the Merseyside derby for the first time. Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai. They've bossed it so far without creating big chances for Pickford to have to deal with. On to Trent Alexander-Arnold, finding Szoboszlai 10 yards from goal. His right-footed ball arcs through the penalty area, but it's going to be too much for Kostas Tsimikas to chase down, and it runs out of play down by the apex of the penalty area and the byline. And Jordan Pickford went running out of his goal to go and get the ball, knowing he wasn't going to get it, then wasted time away to our right-hand side.
With the opening few minutes of the second half, it's quite obvious Liverpool haven't worked out this formation that they're playing against and what we do against the back five. I've just watched Jurgen Klopp in his technical area try to have a word with Mo Salah. I think he wants him to hold his width a little bit more on this right-hand side to really stretch the opposition.
Well, they will have to come up with something, and when you're playing against tightly compact defence, then width is usually the way of doing so.
I'd bring on Nunez and put him up there alongside Jota. I don't think you need all the players back here now. You could bring off a midfielder or a defender, because Everton have got Calvert-Lewin up there. Decore's trying his best to make an extra man to help him out, but in general, they're just going to... It's a rearguard action from Everton to keep the scoreline at 0-0.
They need the one-man wrecking ball. On the left, Tsimikas delivers a cross into the box. Again, there's no one really to attack it, and that is a bit of a surprise, bearing in mind the advantage they've got in numbers. Konate's just dragged Onana to the floor. That's going to be a yellow card for him, the first of the game for a Liverpool player.
Yeah, you see the reaction of the Evertonians to our left. About time, I think they were shouting there. Yeah, and then... You can see there quite clearly Konate just caught out there with Onana. Nice piece of skill to take it away from the Liverpool defender.
Of course, for many years this was called the friendly derby. Not too sure about that.
I never remember. The only thing friendly was sometimes fans would come together to the match, but that was about it.
They used to be able to sit together many years ago as a stoppage is put in place because of a head collision involving Konate on the edge of the penalty area. But it hasn't been like that for a little while. I think it's probably because so many families are split red and blue, mums and dads, different family ties.
Kev, did you always find it fearsome, these derby matches?
It was friendly when you saw them going to the game, but the game was always ferocious. Out on the pitch, it's always ferocious.
And both sets of supporters, they're desperate for the team to win today.
Yeah, it's not been cordial on the pitch, that's for sure. We've already lost a player to a red card in the fixture that has had more red cards than any other, by I think about 6 now. Here is Szoboszlai out towards the left-hand side, collected by Tsimikas, moving towards the edge of the area. It's away by Decore, and then it's collected by Alisson up on the halfway line. He's got bored, so he's come up to the edge of the centre circle to get involved. He's sprayed the ball to Van Dijk, who's released. Jota moving on the edge of the box, plays the ball behind. Diaz comes to Salah, who shoots. Brilliant block. Back to Jota inside the area. It falls to Gravenberg. It's blocked by the defender on the edge of the 6-yard box, Tarkovsky.
Great defending.
And it's out for a corner kick.
Great defending there by Everton. Put bodies on the line. I mean, it was a really couple of good opportunities for Liverpool, but Everton matched the shots.
Brilliant from Tarkovsky twice, because Branthwaite lost his footing and that gave the chance for Salah, but he just threw his body in the line of the strike. Not once, but twice.
Here is the corner over on the far side, in towards the near post. It's headed away by Calvert-Lewin. Back out as far as Alexander-Arnold, whose effort pops up, hits the arm of the defender, Patterson, but I think that was an inadvertent arm. They're holding to have a look at the VAR, but I thought his arm was close to his body and it popped off of his foot and hit his arm.
Well, a couple of things come out of it, Sam. One, was it intent there from Patterson? I don't think so. The other thing is, everything's going to be checked. I don't know why players go so crazy over things.
I don't think there's any chance that can be deemed. Oh, I don't know actually, because it might have come off
the plate on now.
But because it got deflected, I think that's why he didn't have a chance.
Well, I couldn't see who it was. Who's
Keane? I think
Keane and
his arm was out further than Patterson's. Here is Trent Alexander-Arnold scything the ball through the middle of the box again too heavy. It floats behind and goes out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. Interesting.
If Liverpool keep playing those flat balls in, Everton will be happy. Liverpool, Ray, have to get down the outside.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Kev. Too narrow there. You've seen Mo Salah's position. He's gone infield. And the longer the game goes on like this, the more frustrated not Everton will get, more frustrated Liverpool will get, because they're not creating the openings.
But you mentioned already that Jurgen Klopp has asked Mo Salah to hold his width on this right-hand side. Yet they haven't done that on either side, have they? Well, why not?
I think Mo wants to go where he can influence the game, and I want him to do that. If he goes infield, it's up to Alexander-Arnold to be the wide man over on the right-hand side, same with Tsimikas over on the left. game management. It's understanding positionally where you are. He's moved infield, that's left space for me. I have to move into that space to be the extra man in the wide area.
And with Trent Alexander-Arnold, this idea of him wandering into midfield is all well and good when you need that extra man, but when you don't, you actually need him out on the right-hand side.
And maybe get 2v1 situations where Everton playing as a back five.
Garner with the free kick just in front of the halfway line. Into the box it goes, looking for Keane, who flicks it on. It's back by Onana towards the left, but Tsimikas away. Garner then volleys the ball, but he doesn't catch it at all well and hoiks
Does that
it
come
into
down
the
as a
stand.
shot at goal?
I think it probably does on the official statistics, but it was about as deadly as a defanged cobra.
Well, it was nowhere near the goal, that was for sure. But Everton will feel happier in this second half. Liverpool got to work it out what to do, but Everton, they seem to have a plan, don't they, Ray?
Do you know what it is, Kevin? I think it's easy to be destructive, i.e. you can sit back there rather than you have to open up defence. It's much more difficult to open up a back line that is just going to be rigid, sitting in front of the 18-yard box and say, come on, try and break us down. So patience is key here for Liverpool. They haven't got to get frustrated. Still a long time in the game to go for them to get what might only be the only goal of the game, but Everton are working extremely hard.
Ball out on the left for Luis Diaz into Gravenberch, and then back infield it goes, out to the right. Trent Alexander-Arnold takes it on. Down the right side into Mo Salah's path, comes back to Alexander-Arnold again. He whips it deep towards the far post. Again, it's too heavy. Kept in by Tsimikas, just about. Jota keeps it alive. Well, that might have gone out of play. The referee has played on. Gravenberch takes on Doucouré, goes into the box, plays it down the left. Diaz trying to get across his marker, gets bundled out into the advertising hoardings, and then an Everton player goes over the back of those. Onana, who disappeared behind those advertising boardings, and there's a little bit of concern about him. The Everton players have gone rushing out there to try and see if he's okay.
I think he's hit the hoardings pretty hard, hasn't he?
I think he's gone over. Is it Tarkowski's gone over there to see if he's okay? It is.
Look, Pickford's laughing his head off. He must.
Well, I think initially, Kev, when you look at it, there's a little coming together between Onana and Diaz, and they're both pushing each other. And then Onana goes over the top of Diaz, straight into the hoarders. That's a painful one. And over the top.
Oof. Also, it's a sort of tight gap behind there, and he's sandwiched in between the railings and the advertising hoardings, and the stewards are going around now to try and get him out. They've just about got him back to his feet.
You need him back as well. He's a big player.
Yeah, he's a big player.
Massive.
You don't want to take a risk with any injury that he might well have sustained.
I think it'll be, if anything, it'll just be like a collision with...
It'll just be sore.
Yeah, but he'll be all right. He's a big player for them, and Sean Dyche in his technical area knows that he needs him up fit and healthy to continue.
Everton right now have got it absolutely right.
Yeah.
They've made the adjustments, and what they're doing, when Liverpool have the ball, they're going to 5 at the back. As soon as they gain possession, they're going 4 at the back, and Liverpool don't seem to be able to work it out.
What they've done is when they've got the ball, they've sort of shifted Mykolenko just a little bit further up the pitch, haven't they? Or if it's the other side, then Patterson will move up, and as a result of that, they're trying to give themselves the extra number. It's still 0-0, and while it's still 0-0, Sean Dyche will be happy, but he'll know all about Liverpool's late comebacks in games, and know that they are a team that like to score second-half goals.
Liverpool at the moment, Sam, are getting more and more frustrated. The crowd are getting affected, the players are getting affected. We've seen it there with Alexander-Arnold, under no pressure. A ball he would take down 99 times out of the 100, and he puts it out for a throw into Everton.
It's been a little bit sloppy since about the first sort of 25 minutes, really, when Liverpool were getting in behind so often from those counter-attacks after Everton set pieces. Since then, they haven't really crafted opportunities that have got the pulse racing, and there have been very few shots on Jordan Pickford's goal.
In that first half, where Liverpool getting joy was because Everton were attacking. Yeah. Everton are not attacking at all now.
Well, they can't,
so Liverpool
can
can't get in behind them. They're just that back 5, which is so difficult to break down at the moment.
76% possession, 14 shots, but only 1 on target in the entire game. Here's Salah, back to goal, inside the area, trying to turn away, and Onana manages to bring it clear. He's trying to shoot it up towards Calvert-Lewin, cut out by Konate. Forward it goes by McAllister into Diaz, who rides one challenge, plays it down to Salah. Again, his back is to goal as he tries to turn. He's offside anyway, and Mykolenko turns the ball out on this near touchline and puts it out for a throw-in. It remains 0-0. And we've nearly played an hour. You're listening to Talksport live at Anfield. And remember, we're with Super 6. Predict 6 correct scores from this weekend's action and you could win £250,000 without spending a penny. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Change incoming.
Beto.
And it's going to be Beto to try and add to a bit more presence up front.
And probably he'll run in behind. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's done great up there on his own, but he's going to be absolutely knackered because it's only him.
Jota trying to get the better of Tarkowski. He's trying to hold him off and waiting for Pickford to come and get it. Eventually Pickford does come and get it, but he did hesitate just a little bit.
Great strength though, brilliant from Tarkowski. He's not the quickest over the ground, but he just got his body between him and the ball and didn't allow Jota to get in behind him. Pickford should have come out a lot earlier to come and help his teammate out on that occasion. Be interesting to be out. I've got to agree with Kev. I think Calvert-Lewin's done really well with not a lot of service. He's worked so hard for the cause out there.
Diaz trying to trick his way down the left-hand side because it's a Tsimikas who crosses the box is poor, and that's been the sort of tail of the tape really, Ray, hasn't it? When they've got into those wide areas or they've got the ball into the box, the final ball either hasn't been converted when it's been good enough, and either that or it hasn't been good enough.
And even Alexander-Arnold's final ball hasn't been quite good enough. You know, he's normally on the money when he's putting balls into the box. That hasn't been the case. And with Robertson being out, you know, there's been a lot asked of Tsimikas, and he's not really quite delivered, has he, in what we've seen from him. That's not to say that they won't. You know, it's still half an hour to go. You would think there's only 5 minutes the way everyone's reacting. There's times we've just got to slow things down.
Harvey Elliott is about to come on for Gravenberch, and Beto on for Calvert-Lewin, who is a confirmed substitution. It looks like Darwin Nunez is also going to come on for Liverpool, so 2 changes for the home team as well as the change for Everton, which is seeing Beto come on. Beto was interesting this week, saying that his first memories are of watching Merseyside derbies. It's amazing really, isn't it, bearing in mind that, you know, he's a Portuguese international, that he's such a big Everton fan.
Well, I don't know if he's an Everton fan, but
he says he is.
Well, listen, I'll take it, but the fact that he used to watch the Merseyside derby, as we know, the Merseyside derby is global. It really is global, and it's great that he has that recollection of the old days, and maybe I was involved in that as well, Sam.
So you're just happy because you think he had a picture of you on the wall?
Well, that as well. I mean, come on.
He's not that old, mate. He was only 2 when you were playing.
Oh dear.
We've had the changes. Darwin Nunez is on, so is Harvey Elliott. Gravenberch is off, and so is Kostas Tsimikas. So it's just a little bit of a shift for Liverpool, who are going to play with sort of Luis Diaz now as almost like a left wing back on that far side.
I don't think you need a full back out there, personally, the way that Everton are playing. They're not going to come and attack you that often, so you can afford to play with just the 3 defenders. And if you look at Alexander-Arnold, he's pushing up the right wing, so there's just Canati and Virgil van Dijk in the centre there for Liverpool.
Diaz trying to get the ball to his right foot, does that, strikes the ball high and towards the Kop end. He was aiming for goal, but it was never really accurate. There's been far too many of those sort of efforts.
That comes down to decision making, making the wrong decision. And you know, from the acute angle he was at, he's never going to beat Pickford for there. You know, you've got. I would like to see Darwin Nunez though. Don't go towards the ball all the time. Stay in a central position and let the ball come into you.
Yeah.
He wants to go short and get involved in the build-up play. You don't need that today.
Jurgen Klopp celebrated 8 years in the Anfield dugout recently. Only 3 managers have taken charge of more Liverpool games. Not only has he been more successful, but he's well liked as well. Here is Luis Diaz, edge of the area, trying to get past 2 Everton challenges on the edge of the congested boxes. Alexander-Arnold, Salah whips it in, hits Branthwaite, is repelled. Elliott keeps it alive. It's taken down by Van Dijk and out towards this right-hand side. He moves up towards the edge of the area, Harvey Elliott. Plays a little 1-2 with Alexander-Arnold, doesn't quite come off. It's cleared away by Branthwaite and it's on the halfway line. The agent of chaos is in the middle of the penalty area. He sort of fits the Liverpool mode, doesn't he? You know, we talked earlier about the heavy metal football, which was the brand that Jurgen Klopp bought when he first arrived. I mean, he would be the lead singer, Darwin Nunez, that's for sure. Here is McAllister on towards the left. Szoboszlai trying to get into the middle, blocked by Michael Keane. Towards Beto. Konate with a challenge. He's already been booked.
That's
now, should he be given a second yellow card?
Well, this is the problem that happens.
Sean Dyche is going mad. He can't believe it.
This is the problem when the referee does that in the first half. You know, Konate's been booked. Look, he's not even. He doesn't want to know.
Well, has he stopped a promising Everton attack?
Well, the problem you've got there is the lack of consistency. You know, you've got a lad on a yellow card. He makes a challenge where he's nowhere near the ball. He looks like he's caught the player. The Everton fans are very unhappy. Sean Dyche is unhappy, and I can understand why. And it comes down to the referee and his interpretation of what he's seen.
Well, the Everton fans will be absolutely furious about this.
Yeah, they are, rightly so.
I'm fuming.
And now they're going to make a change here, and I think Joel Matip is about to come on to replace Konate. Here's Nunez at the other end, right-footed, along the floor, fingered by the goalkeeper and kept into his chest, Jordan Pickford. Let's just break this down. He was booked, Ibrahima Konate, for a challenge earlier in the game. Now, a definition of a yellow card is if you are stopping a promising attack. That's one of the many definitions of what constitutes a yellow card offence. I think he did that because he tugged back Beto as he was trying to get away from the halfway line.
That is a booking. Let's have it right. If he hadn't been booked, if he hadn't had the first booking, he would have got booked there.
So you have to ask the question, Kevin, why didn't the referee give a second yellow?
Here's Nunez at the other end, fed by Luis Diaz, out towards the left-hand side. The ball delivered against the defender, who slides in, puts out and goes out of play. And Joel Matip now is coming on, I presume, for Ibrahima Konate, because Jurgen Klopp knows he's got away with one.
Well, listen, it's as simple as that. There's a decision that's been made. Just say Alexander-Arnold saying to Konate, get off quickly, we've got a corner here, we want to get on with the game as quickly as we can. He's a lucky boy.
Hold on. Sean Dyche
is going to get a yellow card.
Not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I think he'll take that.
I mean, you know, we talk about VAR decisions, etc. This is another one for the weekend, isn't it?
You do always sit there and think as well that once you have one game where a decision is made which is like that, the whole thing starts to sort of tumble away from you. I do hope that's not the case this weekend. Here is Alexander-Arnold from a corner which is taken short. Back to Elliott out towards the right-hand side. Everton down to 10 players, but asking the question as to why Liverpool are not. And the ball is released to halfway. It's taken down by Elliott. Elliott moves up into the shaded area inside the half attacking the Kop. He leaves it for Diaz. Out wide it goes towards the right. Salah with a poor delivery again.
He's had such a poor game, Mo Salah. It's unbelievable. I know I'd never want to take off a player that can win you it, but I've got to be honest with you, what Mo's given Liverpool today, I've not seen him play as bad as this for a long, long time. He just looks so much off the pace of the game and decision making, and McAllister now went up.
It's catching, isn't it? It's catching.
Yeah. Well, it has been a bit scrappy, as I mentioned, since that sort of half an hour mark in the game, where Liverpool's ability to get in behind Everton sort of stopped, because Everton stopped attacking, left the player back when they had the set piece. They haven't had any chances since then, and then they lost Ashley Young, and since then it's been sort of protection first. As a result, Liverpool have found no space to be able to cultivate opportunities.
Everton have done a really good job of adjusting. They've made two really good substitutions, and obviously Beto coming on the third, which is physical up there. He's using his body, he's doing really well. Liverpool haven't worked it out yet, and this is more like forwards against defence, Ray, isn't it?
Just looking at Alexander-Arnold down there, Kevin, he's just having a word. He felt that Beto used an arm there, and that was what he intimated to the fourth official. It's getting a bit niggly out there.
Yes,
it really is getting very niggly. A lot of
Beto's just had a little lash out at McAllister.
Yeah.
And the referee is allowed play on, because he now can't book an Everton player for anything spurious, can he? Not after what he's failed to do to Konate. Back in field it goes, collected by Szoboszlai. We've got 22 minutes gone, and it's still 0-0 in the Merseyside derby. Liverpool know that a victory will take them top if it's sizable enough in this game. But at the moment, they find themselves remaining in fourth position in the table. Ball out on the left-hand side. It's down the left once again towards Jota, and then Van Dijk into Luis Diaz and trying to take on Doucouré. Again, Liverpool can't pierce these blue shirts that are lined up in numbers on the edge of the penalty area. It's with Szoboszlai into the box, headed away by Garner and then cleared away. Well, Liverpool do have a habit of winning games late on. There is a sense of nervousness amongst the crowd here, wondering whether or not they can find that potency, find a way to cut through this stubborn Everton backline. At this moment in time, they look impenetrable. Here is Matip into Jota, wide to the right, and now for Elliott, who tricks his way into the box and gives it to Salah, whose ball into the centre is poor.
He's just forcing it at the moment. When you have a bad time, you do that. You know, you try the hard ball rather than the simple one.
Jurgen Klopp standing on the edge of his technical area. Pep Lijnders doing the gesticulating and shouting at this moment in time. They're looking to try and change things. Szoboszlai goes on the outside of the defender Patterson, gets into the area well. Patterson recovers brilliantly, tries to take it away, but Jota is there. Then Onana smacks it clear, and Everton are already hanging on, and we've got 20 minutes to go.
You know, the problem with the referee's decision or non-decision is it actually could have opened the game up a bit.
Yeah.
If it went down to 10v10.
Back to Szoboszlai, left-hand side from Diaz. Centrally is Alexander-Arnold. Again, there's no one out and wide on the right. Elliott towards the left, and now McAllister. Back to Diaz, left side of the box, taking on Patterson, trying to go beyond him. Patterson slid in, brought him down. Referee says no penalty.
I don't think that was a penalty. I think Diaz felt a little bit, maybe a contact, and then made it look worse than it was. Tarkowski just going to have a word with him. See here from the replay.
I think he's just gone to block it. Look.
Yeah, he's going to block it. No, I don't think that's a penalty. Chance. Not for me.
But is that a booking for Diaz? You know, he's tried to con the referee.
Kev, you know when you go back to the decision by the referee on Konate,
yes,
it isn't about, you know, even up or, you know, making it a better game. What you're looking for is consistency. Well, you're looking for a consistency.
There is contact from Patterson on Luis Diaz, and VAR are looking at it. And they've looked at it very quickly, and they've said play on.
Yeah, listen, I think it's quite clear. You look at it, you see it, and you make a decision quite quickly to say, no, there was no real contact there from Patterson. Not enough anyway to suggest it could have been a penalty. But referees have got to get the key decisions right, and they didn't get that with the Konate one.
Yeah, here is Jota into Salah, gets it back again, shot blocked by Onana. Comes out into the midfield, and Beto tries to stride forward, can't do so, but he might get a second chance to run now. Referee couldn't allow play on despite the fact that Garner thought he was fouled, and now Beto can't get hold of it, and it's picked up by Elliott. Liverpool come on the charge with 18 minutes to go live on Talksport. Space out wide on the left for Diaz if they can find him. They've got him now into the game in the left corridor, taking on the defender. He hits the hand of the defender. And this time Michael Keane is looking with blushed face. Again, it looked like it took a deflection to me. It did travel some distance.
It hit his arm, but it's so close.
Yeah,
it's so close.
Such pace. I don't think you can get your hand out.
It's so close.
Watch here when it comes in. His hands and he's outstretched.
His arm is outstretched.
It is outstretched.
His arm is outstretched prior to the ball coming into the box.
In a natural position would be the question.
Now, if you're going for consistency, go back to Luton against Wolverhampton Wanderers earlier in the season. That would be a penalty.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was given as a penalty. But I just think because he's so close, he can't get his arm out the way.
Well, he's going over to look at the monitor to decide whether or not Michael Keane has made his body unnaturally bigger. Were his arms outside the natural silhouette of his body?
It was, yes, it was.
And does the deflection negate that fact? Now, that's the subjective questions that Craig Pawson will be asking himself when he watches it. Is the distance, is the velocity going to stop him from giving a penalty? It takes a little deflection, I think, off Patterson, or does it? That's the question.
Yeah,
if it doesn't and it just hits the arm, that's a penalty.
No, I don't think it did take the deflection off Patterson. It's gone off his hand.
Penalty to Liverpool.
this is a player that played many years ago. I think that is very, very harsh. But I really do. I know the rules. Okay. I understand the rules.
It's easy to say that, though, Ray. But we have to judge the officials on the current law book.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and according to the rule book, his arm's out in an unnatural position. It came off his arm. Would it have went across it to a Liverpool player? Maybe. Could they have finished it off? Yes, of course, if someone was in there. So I can understand the merits of it. But I'm just thinking, personally, I think it's a little bit harsh. But I understand the ruling. And it's a big opportunity here.
According to the rule book,
it's a penalty.
Yes.
Whether or not we agree with the way the law is written is a completely different debate, and one that you may well have with Jamie O'Hara and with Gary Agbonlahor later. Mo Salah so far has had a stinker. And he's standing in front of the Kop with the opportunity after 75 minutes to score Liverpool's goal that will put them in front. They've only had 2 shots on target up until this point in the Merseyside derby, despite having a man advantage. They've had another one now, and Mo Salah has rammed it past Pickford, who's gone the wrong way, and in front of the Kop, Liverpool finally have the lead. They've needed a helping hand. That helping hand came from Michael Keane, and Mo Salah, who's had a very difficult afternoon, showed no nerves, no complacency, a pure, solid strike that went beyond the goalkeeper, and it's Liverpool 1, Everton 0.
Clinical, absolutely clinical, gave the goalkeeper no chance whatsoever. He's delighted with that, as are the majority of the fans in the stadium. The Everton fans, some of them are starting to leave. We're just going over to my left-hand side, actually going out the exit at the moment, because I don't think they believe they're going to get back into it.
Hold on.
Well, there's going to be another yellow card for another member of the staff of Everton. I'm not too sure who it was.
Is it Stoney or Woney or what is it?
Stoney was standing next to.
Maybe
Woney.
Yeah.
It might be Woney
Woney. Yeah, sat down. Yeah.
15 minutes to go, and finally, Liverpool have the lead. 18 shots on goal. That was only the 3rd on target. And Nana at the other end sends a wild shot away to our left-hand side. So let's head off and find out what's happening up and down the country ahead of our team uses. We'll go around our grounds very shortly. Where should we start? Let's go straight off to St James's Park, where Mark Wilson is doing commentary on Talksport 2 of Newcastle against Crystal Palace. What's the latest?
Sandro Tonali is in the squad but on the bench. Eddie Howe makes 4 changes. Tonali, Almiron, Isak and Anderson all drop to the bench as Joe Linton, Wilson, Gordon and Murphy come in. Roy Hodgson makes 3 changes for Palace. Klein and Riedewald on the bench. Schlupp is out injured. In come Ward, Lerma and Doucouré. We're live and exclusive on National Radio on Talksport 2 and Mickey Gray at St James's Park, Newcastle against Palace.
Manuel Pellegrini was in charge the last time City lost 3 Premier League games in a row. Who have they picked to avoid defeat today, Alan Biggs?
Well, there are 5 changes, including one big one in goal. Stefan Ortega replaces Ederson, also in from the defeat at Arsenal. John Stones back after injury, his first appearance in the Premier League this season, plus Jeremy Doku, Rodri, who's back from suspension, and Manuel Akanji. Brighton also make a change in goal. Jason Steele is coming in there. James Milner is in the team against his former club, and Danny Welbeck as well. Man City against Brighton.
Back here it's still Liverpool 1, Everton 0. We've got 13 minutes to go in the Merseyside derby, and the goal coming from the boots of Mo Salah after what was it'll be a contentious penalty because the law's contentious. But I think under the current guidance, that was always going to be given. Liverpool coming forward again. Szoboszlai from distance. He's playing more towards the left in this second half. Worked out wide to the right now, and Salah, who moves to the edge of the penalty area, tries to play a 1-2 with Nunez. Again, it doesn't come off. Goes out for a goal kick away to our right. Now, since last October, Forest have lost just 2 of their last 18 Premier League home games. That's some record, Jeff Peters.
It is. Anthony Elanga returns for them today. No Callum Hudson-Odoi in the squad at all. We don't know why yet. It's the only change from the draw at Palace. 2 alterations for Luton. Mads Anderson is injured. Adebayo is benched. Chong and Mengi come in. New signing Andros Townsend is among their subs.
Darren England is back in action today, but who have Brentford and Burnley picked, Ollie Klink?
3 changes for Brentford, Sam, from their loss to Manchester United last time out. Out comes keeper Strakosha, Roerslev and Hickey. In come Flecken, Onyeka and Morpie. Burnley also make 3 changes from their defeat to Chelsea before the break. Out come Delcroix, Brownhill and Vitinho. In come O'Shea, Roberts and Amdouni. At the G-Tech, it's Brentford against Burnley.
Luis Diaz comes forward for Liverpool, moving up towards the midpoint of the Everton half, into the feet of Alexis McAllister. Liverpool lead by a goal to nil, live on Talksport, and it's with McAllister once again, and Joel Matip, who came on when Konate was given a let-off, is playing it forward to Salah, who's being wrestled to the ground. He's given a free kick on this near side. Mikolenko is the guilty party. So let's go off to the Vitality. The Cherries are without a win since Gary O'Neill was in charge of them. He's back today, but he'll want to increase the pain, Ian Abrahams.
Certainly will, but there's an exciting development with the team news. Alex Scott, the youngster, signed for Bristol City, makes his Cherries debut this afternoon. 4 changes for Bournemouth. Aarons, Kelly, Scott and Brooks all come into the team. As Wolves, 2 changes. Simono and Lamina are both out suspended, so Traore and Matt Doherty start for Wolves.
Arnaud Danjuma is on for Andre Onana here, and we've got 10 minutes to go, and Joe Gomez about to come on, and he's going to replace Luis Diaz. So just making sure that all bases are covered. I think Jurgen Klopp, now they've got the advantage. Just in case there's any late set-piece drama, and Liverpool's set-piece defending hasn't been great, so getting someone big, tall and muscular on the pitch is probably the idea.
Yeah, I think not, but they'll just go to your flat back 4 again. You know, the way that we were lined up, Diaz was playing as a left wing-back, if you like. They were just playing with the 2 centre-halves and Alexander-Arnold, but Gomez, I would imagine, was going to that left-back position for Liverpool, just to make sure that Everton don't get anything from this, because they brought on an extra striker. You know, that's what Everton try to do. They're trying to force the issue by taking off a midfielder and bringing on a more attack-minded player.
Alexander-Arnold's delivery in towards the edge of the 6-yard box is flicked away by Branthwaite, with the rivals, including Van Dijk and Matip, steaming in at the far post. It's steered out for a corner kick. It was a really good right-footed whipper from that far side, which had arc and spin, and it was well read by Jared Branthwaite.
Yeah, brilliant ball in though, wasn't it? Top quality into a really good area. You expected one of your teammates to try and get on the end of it, but well defended by the young Evertonian defender there, Branthwaite.
9 minutes to go. Here's the corner, far side, right-footed in towards the near post, and the header by Jota. His glance straight into the arms of Jordan Pickford. It was a really good effort from Liverpool. Brilliant delivery from Szoboszlai, and an excellent header from Diogo Jota.
Everton have to hang on there. They have to hang on in this game, because the deeper it gets, I know there ain't a lot of time left. They might just get one chance to equalise.
Elliott finds Szoboszlai, then McAllister back to Szoboszlai under pressure from Danjuma, switches the play to the right. Trent Alexander-Arnold brings it down and funnels the ball forward. You're listening to Talksport, we're live. Liverpool 1, Everton 0 on Talksport with Now, and don't forget with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Chelsea, Arsenal and Sheffield United versus Manchester United live today for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. Here is McAllister looking to try and search out Salah. Again, the ball wasn't great for him. It's come out and cleared away by Everton. Beto trying to cause Matip problems, doesn't do that. Elegantly defends and pushes the ball into the right fullback position for Alexander-Arnold, who brings it clear.
See Liverpool at the moment, they're 1-0 up. They don't need the second goal. What they have to do is win the game 1-0. Make sure they don't give any encouragement from Everton to get back in the game. So just keep the ball at the back. You don't have to keep going forward with the ball now. This is the occasion where just go back to Matip, get it out to Virgil van Dijk. Joe Gomez shouldn't be going right up high up the pitch. He should go in the left back position, and then that brings Everton higher up the pitch. Then it leaves the space to play into.
Is that naivety for those on the pitch?
I think Jurgen Klopp's not too happy with what he's seen. I mean, you don't need Alexander-Arnold going and making an extra midfielder now. Stay in as a back 4, just pass it around and say to Everton, if you want to get back in here, come and get the ball off of us, and when they do that, they'll leave spaces.
And what should Everton be doing now?
Well, Everton are going to have to take some risk. If they take some risk, then obviously it will leave gaps at the back. Again, Everton have to take a chance, but they've got to get the ball back. That's the most important thing now.
Jota has it on the wide left for for Liverpool. This is the start of a good run for them. They've had a difficult start to the season in terms of fixtures and done well. Now slightly lighter set of fixtures to come where they'd expect to be putting themselves in a good position. Here is Szoboszlai sending it square onto McAllister, and then further on to the left it's taken by Joe Gomez, who flicks it into Jota's path. He plays it to McAllister on the edge of the area, who delicately drifts the ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's caught by Jordan Pickford.
That's such a waste, Sam, honestly. They've worked it really well. They've been patient. They've went from the right side to the left. Gomez into Jota, McAllister, and then he just flights a hopeless ball in, aimless ball in, which always favoured Pickford to come and collect it. The only thing that Everton didn't do was get the ball further downfield quickly enough. They've really iced Beto. Danjuma's gone, I don't know where he's really playing. He's just running around, to be honest. I thought they might have went with, instead of back five, get a back four, push someone else into midfield and try to have two strikers and put a little bit more pressure on the two centre-halves of Liverpool.
Liverpool fans in fine voice as they pop the ball around in midfield, knowing that they can see themselves on top of the Premier League table in the not too distant future. Leading this game by a goal to nil, but here's Nunez inside the area trying to get beyond two defenders, and Tarkowski just hands him off and says, get out the way. Get out the way. He pushes him to the floor. Liverpool have it back again. They move out towards the left-hand side. They will be on top of the table courtesy of goals scored at the end of this game as Nunez tries to go down the right corridor, cut out by Branthwaite again and cleared out towards this near side. I mean, Jurgen Klopp actually has done a good job of rebuilding his team, involving that front three over the course of the last year, refreshing it whilst not destabilising it. Not easy. He's had a harder time reconstructing his midfield, but he's getting there. He's getting there, and he's had help from Pep Linders and Peter Krawietz, who do a lot of work that goes under the radar. But Jurgen Klopp, who celebrated his 8th anniversary recently, is full of charisma. He is the Liverpool leader, isn't he? And I think they appreciate everything about him, even his odd fault, every little rant that happens every now and again, or his little sarcastic put down of a journalist. He's formed a great career here. He fits the club, doesn't he?
He's box office. He understood what Liverpool needed from day one. He promised them the league within 4 years. Most people were laughing at him, but he was true to his word. And I think was it three Champions League finals?
Yep.
You know, you look where they've been, Sam, and what they've done, and how close they came to winning the quadruple a couple of seasons ago, where they were quite magnificent. It's been a joy. There's a reason why the stadium's full. It hasn't always been full. You know, Liverpool fans have seen the job that the manager's done, what he's done as far as his recruitment's concerned, and the trophies that he's brought to this club, but the joy of coming to watch their side play.
And it's a stark contrast to what's happened on the other side of Stanley Park, where he actually has come up against 8 different Everton managers in his time at Liverpool. Here is Danjuma trying to thrust the ball forward. And was there a foul? The referee said no. Now Jota is looking to escape. Nunez down the left-hand side, powering forward, taking on Patterson. Gets on the outside, into the penalty area he goes to the byline, produces a cross, takes a deflection into the side netting. It came off Branthwaite as it was powered in at the near post by Nunez. He deflected off the youngster and goes behind and away for a corner.
How is that not a free kick, by the way? I thought that was a free kick on Danjuma. Yeah, just got caught late, but good defending, good break, good defending by Everton. Everton are dicing with a little bit of depth. Obviously, they have to, because they have to take a chance.
I'll tell you what, the defender, I thought he headed in his own goal there. I've got to say, from the angle we were at, I thought it was going in.
Yeah.
And just went wide of that near post there, but good run from Nunez down the left-hand side. Nice skill, played it across the face of the goal, and Branthwaite did the right thing, heading it out.
Yusuf Chamiti is coming on for Mikalenko for the final few minutes, an attacker to try and give them a threat on the counter-attack in the last few minutes of the game. 87 on the clock, and it's still 1-0 to Liverpool. And the Portuguese, who was signed from Sporting for 15 million quid. Here's the corner. It's a poor one in towards the near post. Joe Gomez keeps it alive and then tries to funnel it through the box. We'll say he tried to funnel it through the box because he's never scored a goal in over 200 senior appearances. So it was unlikely he was going to shoot.
Not
one ever.
He was just trying to put that back into the danger area, wasn't he? And it went out for a Everton throw-in.
That's impossible not to have scored one goal. Come on. Has he scored in training?
I think it's 217 appearances all told, and not one single goal. You'd be disappointed, wouldn't you?
Be devastated.
He is a right
He's a
back
good lad, though. Listen, whenever he's been asked to come in and do a job, he always comes in. He's conscientious and gives it 100%.
Always been a little bit disappointed he's never been able to stay fit for long enough in order to be able to sort of stake a claim, not only in this team but in the England team as well. They need good quality defenders. 89 gone, Liverpool 1, Everton 0, and Liverpool about to win yet another Merseyside derby. They about to hit the Premier League summit. And I just wonder how close they are to Arsenal and City when you reflect on their results so far and the fact that they've got not an easy run of fixtures, because no game is easy in the Premier League, but a lighter run than the beginning, that's for sure. Here is Joe Gomez stepping up to try and shoot from distance. Cannons off Keane, the first man. Comes back to Elliott. That's how you hit them. And he hits it straight down the middle of the goal. And it's a brilliant save by Jordan Pickford, and then onto the top of the crossbar and behind for a corner kick. What an absolute smacker that would have been.
Wow. Rocket, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic strike. And the goalkeeper, that's a magnificent save. Really good save. He react quickly to his left-hand side. I mean, he went for the Joe Gomez shot and he went and he got up quickly, and then that's how you strike a ball from Harvey Elliott. Goalkeeper was equal to it.
As you said, Sam, in the first half, hit the target, and Pickford had to make that save.
Derby number 18 for Jurgen Klopp. It will be 11th win in that time for the German if they can get over the line here. We're about to hit the 90. Trent Alexander-Arnold to the back post. Jota heads it down. It's punched away by James Tarkowski. 9 minutes of added time at the end of the 90. Ball out over on the far side. Jota trying to keep it alive, and they're tussling with Doucouré, who's run past 3 red shirts and then lost the ball. And now he's out of position as Liverpool look to come forward with 9 minutes to hang on to this lead, although Everton have been down to 10 players for so long. I'm surprised that they can move. They're so tired now after chasing shadows for large parts of this game. Tarkowski drags Elliott to the floor. Referee says play on. There's still a tussle going on between the two. Salah trying to win it back, and then it comes back to Matip, and Liverpool look to build.
They look tired, the Everton players, and for good reason. They've put so much effort and energy into this game, but you can see there with Doucouré, he just couldn't get away from his marker there.
I think both sets of players are tired. I know Everton will probably be a lot more tired, but Liverpool are giving the ball away pretty cheap, Ray, and it's not like them.
Well, particularly when I'll go back to Kev, when you're 1-0 up, you should just be retaining possession. You don't need the second goal. That's his game management now.
Here is Tarkowski trying to clear from out on this near side. Branthwaite brings it down. He tries to go further on down the left-hand side. There's been another development in Mumbai. John Norman.
Bairstow's gone early. Length delivery from Ngidi on the pads. Bairstow went to clip it over the leg side boundary. Got plenty of elevation. Not enough distance. Van der Dussen took the catch inside the boundary. England lose an early one in the chase of 400. They're 19 for 1.
The near corner and hitting the side netting. Diogo Jota coming so close to doubling Liverpool's advantage.
Wrong decision there from Jota. I don't think he should have shot from the angle he was at. He had 2 players right in the middle. Nunez one, Salah the other. Just took the wrong option there. Lovely play initially, but then you've got to get your head up and see who's in there. He's trying to drive into the near post to catch out Pickford, but just couldn't get his shot on target. He troubled the Everton keeper.
93 minutes on the clock, 9 minutes of added time. Where do Everton go from here? Because they've got that big development in midweek, haven't they? They've got that hearing on the 25th of October, which may well seal their fate. And what they won't want is a points deduction, bearing in mind that they haven't got that many points. Here's Chamiti over the top, trying to get in behind the Everton defence. Van Dijk reacts and puts the ball behind, and it goes out for a corner late in the game.
Big chance for Everton. Everton have got to get the delivery right now. I know they're down to 10 men, but this is a great opportunity to put some pressure on this Liverpool defence.
As you said, Kev, they've kept themselves in it. By keeping it at 1-0, they've created this one chance that might get them something from this game.
Set piece is such a big weapon in the Sean Dyche armoury. They were at Burnley, they are with Everton. Here is the corner. Garner to take it into the near post. It goes beyond everyone after a flick on. And now Liverpool bring the ball away. And a chance to counter-attack. Nunez has got it. Space out wide to right and left. And space for Salah, who didn't take it in. Miscontrolled it. And Beto was there to intervene, nab the ball and win it back for Everton.
Do you see the ground he made up? Do you see the ground Beto made up?
Yes.
Because he was in the 18-yard box for the initial corner, and he must have chased 80 yards to help out defensively. Great attitude from the Everton players.
He's so rapid, is Beto. But I think Mo Salah will be disappointed with his overall performance, despite the fact that he's probably going to get the winning goal.
Apart from the penalty, he's not done a great deal at all. He's been on the periphery of everything today, and Sean like him.
Tremisi trying to get in behind as the ball's played over the top by Everton, but
that's the striker's lot, though. That's the striker's lot, Ray, isn't it? You don't play well, and possibly you could end up being the
match winner.
The match winner,
yeah.
You know.
But that's why you keep your best players on. You know, there's some great managers, and they'll tell you that when their best players aren't playing well, you don't always take them off, because you know they're the ones that can change the game for you. They're the ones you can rely on a moment when needed. And that's what happened there with the penalty.
Well, I spoke to the Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp a few weeks ago, and we'll hear from him after this game live on Talksport, and Sean Dyche as well. There's a lot to talk about, but he is about to surpass Rafa Benitez's record of 8 Premier League Merseyside derby wins. When I did speak to him, I asked him what his team could achieve this season. He said he doesn't know, because he's still putting it together. But when you think of how they've started the season, you think that they're now top at this moment in time. That may well change over the weekend, but they are up there.
And they've got the depth. They've got the strength and depth. They've got the quality of the players, and they've been there before. They've been through situations like this. It's still very early. We're only at the 9th league game of the season. There's still a lot of matches, a lot of points to be played for. But there's no doubt when Liverpool play well, and they play with a tempo and the quality they've got up front, they will pose a problem to every team that they play against.
Still 4 minutes to go of stoppage time. With it 1-0 to Liverpool. Szoboszlai beats 2 players, gets to the edge of the area, right-footed, tries to chip it towards the goalkeeper, and he just didn't get the execution of that at all right. And once he got in front of goal, he ended up spooning over the top of the crossbar.
I think it's our fault, because before the game, talking to Rich, he was saying what a player he was and how he gets into great goal-scoring positions and he can score goals and create goals, but his shooting hasn't been quite there today.
Nunez has been played over the top by Elliott, and he's charging through, and he's got to deal with Keane here, and he can't get it under control. Bumps into Tarkowski. The rain starts to come down on the playing surface as Beto tries to get on the end of Chouamiti's flick on. It's away by Van Dijk, and it's out on this near side. Klopp's not happy. He wanted Nunez to hold on to that ball a little bit better. He didn't, and it goes out for a throw-in. Is there going to be one last chance for Everton in the Merseyside derby? Branthwaite to take the throw-in on this near side. It's level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, attacking the goal away to our left, and then Craig Pawson says, no, you've stolen too many yards, go back, keep going back, now you can take it there. It's thrown into Doucouré, back to Branthwaite, miscontrolled, it goes out for another throw. Everton want to get things moving quickly. 96 minutes and 30 seconds played. Flick on by Keane. Into the box it goes. Matip trying to keep it alive. Beto gets it into Chouamiti. Doesn't know where his feet are. Loses the ball. And it breaks for Nunez, who's running at pace right the way through the middle of the pitch. He's in the Everton half. Leaves it for Salah. 2-0. Liverpool's great start to the season is going to continue. They're going top for now of the Premier League. A counter-attacking goal to steal all 3 points. They haven't been brilliant. Salah certainly hasn't been brilliant, but he's bagged a brace in a Merseyside derby. 7 goals in 10 Merseyside derbies for him, and 3 points for Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool 2, Everton 0.
Devastating, wasn't it? Changing defence into attack. I mean, Everton didn't do particularly well from the throwing, but wow, the movement, the pace that Liverpool broke at, the options that they had, and then it's about picking out the right pass, and certainly that what happened there from Nunez into Mo Salah gave Pickford no chance whatsoever, and in a game that's been tough throughout, now looks comfortable at 2-0.
That was reminiscent of the first half, wasn't it, where it was Everton's attack, the ball broke, and then Liverpool would get a chance at goal. But this time Everton couldn't get bodies back, and that guy Mo Salah again, he scores again, But what a poor game, Ray. He's got a brace.
Yeah, well, that's what he'll tell you what he's about. He's in there to finish off the moves, and that's why the manager doesn't take your best players off, because they will do something special at any moment in the game. That's what makes them different, and that's the case there with Mo Salah.
Beto now trying to make a bit of space for himself and shoots from 30 yards out. Doesn't get anywhere near the Liverpool goal, and it flies into the Anfield Road end, which is emptying by the second.
Yeah, well, fair play to the Everton supporters. I would say the vast majority of them stayed until that second goal went in, and yeah, they've seen enough now. But you know what? They'll be happy with the energy and the effort that team have put in, that Everton side have put into it. It's just the quality up front. As in creating chances, scoring goals, they just didn't do enough. But the sending off, there's two crucial moments: the sending off of Ashley Young, and then the decision not to send off Kanate. They're the huge parts of the game.
Absolutely massive parts of the game, which may well have turned the tide, and something I'm sure Sean Dyche won't be happy about. But how concerned are you for Everton, bearing in mind that they've had a tough start, then they got a little bit better, and then the luck doesn't seem to be with them today?
Yeah, it's always going to be tough coming to Anfield. We know Everton needed to defend properly and defend really resolute if you're going to get anything here. The VAR decision will get talked about, we know that. Everton just haven't had the quality at the top end of the pitch. I agree with that, and unfortunately the breaks have gone for Liverpool, but the referee will get questioned.
Why did he not send off Ibrahima Konate? Was the first yellow card for Ashley Young legitimate? Was the handball the correct call by the VAR? Those will be the questions that Sean Dyche and Jurgen Klopp will answer very shortly. Jurgen Klopp was asked whether or not his team could challenge for the title. Well, right now they sit on top of the Premier League, and there's no sweeter way to return to the summit. The Kop celebrate being back on top. Liverpool registered 3 straight wins over Everton at Anfield, and any flicker of an Everton revival was extinguished pretty quickly here when they had a player sent off after 38 minutes. I don't think Sean Dyche will be talking about XG tonight. It might be a refereeing decision which catches his eye. What was expected was a Liverpool victory, and in the end, that is what they delivered. 2 goals from Mo Salah will hit the headlines, and so will some of the decisions by the officials. It's finished Liverpool 2, Everton 0.
Sam Matterface, thank you very much. It is very, very loud still here at Anfield, because Liverpool know that this was a really important victory. It takes them to the top of the table, as Sam said. The players are heading over to the Kop. Some of them are to say thank you to the fans. Others are walking around the perimeter of the ground. The Everton fans have started to exit pretty quickly, many of them. The others that are holding on are clapping their team. They know that Everton put in a valiant performance today. Possibly that scoreline doesn't reflect some of the hard work that we saw from Everton today, but Liverpool are a side who take their chances when they are there, and Mo Salah, who didn't have a good game, still ended up netting a brace. Hive of activity pitch side. The stewards are all out just in case of any trouble between the two sides, but at the moment it looks pretty friendly so far. The Everton fans clapping their players as they start to head down the tunnel, and some of the Liverpool players are still out on the pitch as well. Big win, Ray Houghton, this one. Big win. It takes them to the top of the table just for, a couple of hours at least, but psychologically for Liverpool, given the changes that they've had, given what happened last season, given all the other teams in the mix at the moment, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it was. It certainly was a big deal from Liverpool's point of view, and Jurgen Klopp's out there. He'll be delighted with the victory. It's never easy, Resh, when you're coming back from international duty to really get the players focused 100% on the job in hand. The game itself might have taken care of quite a lot of that because of Liverpool against Everton, but you still got to go out and win the game. Liverpool in the end, I think, deserved to win it, because throughout the 90 minutes or 99 minutes that we had, I thought they were the better team. They didn't do enough in the final third with the possession that they had, but I thought they had the balance of the play. You look at shots on target, shots at goal, possession stats, they would all be in Liverpool's favour. But there was two decisions. The first yellow card for Ashley Young, should it have been given or not? And then obviously the Konate, should he have got a second yellow card? They were the massive decisions as far as the game was concerned, and that's the reason why Everton fans will be unhappy. Liverpool will be happy they've got the 3 points though.
Well, let's speak to an Everton fan, Kevin Campbell. Konate, if you're Craig Pawson and you're going to give a second yellow card to Ashley Young in that circumstance, you've got to surely give one to Konate as well.
100%, and this is going to be the problem. This is where everybody questions, where is the consistency? Yeah, Ray said it earlier on. Ashley Young dived in, brought down Diaz, second yellow card. Well, if that's a second yellow card, Konate's got to go as well. 10 v 10, that makes it maybe a different game. But I thought Liverpool in the end, yeah, they did shade it, but Everton played pretty well, and especially for long periods with 10 men.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Is there, in your mind, a slight, let's say, unconscious bias towards Liverpool here, considering what happened at Tottenham a couple of weeks ago? Do you think the VAR, do you think Craig Pawson, do you think they're a little bit gentle on Liverpool because of those big decisions going against them? I'm just putting it out there and asking your opinion.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think, look, the penalty, that's fine. I could accept that. I've seen them given.
Yeah.
But the second yellow card for Konate, that never came. Again, we're going to question the officials about consistency.
Okay. So
just before that, the referee should come out after the game and explain the reasons why he gave the decision that he did one way or the other, because there's no transparency as far as football's concerned from that point of view. Fans want to know and deserve to know why he made that decision.
I think what the big problem here is that Ray, as a Liverpool fan, is criticising the decision. Kevin is, and I am, and you are, and everybody else who's watching it is, which means it's a pretty clear decision to make in most people's eyes. I am very surprised it didn't generate a red card, and it's not what the officials need at this time.
Yeah, certainly too many criticisms in recent weeks and recent years over the refereeing decisions, and that one probably will be one that will be talked about throughout the day and the coming weeks as well. Okay, so controversial here at Anfield. Ooh, and a big game out in the Cricket World Cup. England chasing a huge total set for them.